Without the online courses, I know I wouldn't be able to finish school or transfer to a major university. I will always be grateful for Snow College in helping me reach my goals and helping me set the pathway for my future.
Okay, one thing to mention here in our pregame before we move to the kickoff, and that is there is a Manti Templar out there who's been named an Academic All-State honoree, and that's Trevor Alder of the Manti Templars, one of those Academic All-States. Coming up at halftime, we will tell you about what has happened earlier today. We just mentioned that the championship is set in the 2A between Summit Academy and South Summit, a couple of Northern Region foes. They just manhandled their opponents today. That's been our Snow College pregame show. Snow College aggressive in keeping up with advancements in upward education. They implement the new strategic plan and expanded online offerings. Find out more details at snow.edu. Teed up, Manti Templars going from right to left, south to north here in the white uniform. And Judge Memorial to return, and they are in the red with the gold trim going left to right on the artificial turf. Excellent afternoon for football, and the Sheesh kickoff kind of squibbles out to the side and then touched, I think, at about the 14-yard line.
Xavier Price did touch it. Otherwise, it would have gone out of bounds, and they would have gotten into the 35.
It would have probably been a smarter decision there for him to have let that thing go out of bounds. So it'll start at the 14-yard line for the Judge Memorial Bulldogs in this matchup with the Manti Templars. So from their own 14, Larry Masco and Russell Olson with you in this coverage today. And it's on Centricom Channel 10. On the streaming and also on KMTI Manti. Just after 4 o'clock, a little late going on this one. They gave him a full about 35 minutes between games. And the Templars loosen up the middle linebacker a little bit. Tight on the outside, but loose in the middle, so they'll run almost a 4-back defensive back set. Right into the fullback, the option. He gets a couple of yards and then surges forward for a pickup of almost 6, and that was just on good hard running on his own effort on the carry by the big fullback, Maxwell Barnett.
Yeah, right now Manti's starting out the game with the 5-man front, and you know, they know Judge. They played him several times, and that option and that run play, that's what Manti's watching for.
A no huddle for Judge. They come up quickly on a 2nd and 5, right to the fullback, and try to give it off to the right side, but that doesn't work. And Auer goes down, and that was cut down by some good defensive penetration by Caden Gentry.
Caden Gentry was just all over that. He met the quarterback about a yard deep as they go no huddle and come back quick.
So the loss of a couple for Judge Memorial, and they've now got a 3rd and 7 at the 17-yard line. Aiden Auer, veteran senior quarterback. Wide side of the field to the left, double wide outs there, single running back, and they've also got a flanker tight left. He's going to set into the pocket, look for the over-under pattern and try to drop it in the hole, and goes incomplete. It'll bring up a punting situation for Judge Memorial after the incomplete pass.
Doug Sheese was had good pass rush on that play and put pressure on Auer and caused him to be a little bit off when he threw. I think also he had to throw over him just a little bit. Incomplete pass and bring up 4th down.
Punting situation. Well, they've got a good snapper. You know, I was watching in the pregame. Wouldn't like to have a guy that can snap. Well, he snaps it too high, and it's fielded down in the end zone, trying to punt it out of there and just barely getting it away. Judge Memorial's punter does a good job, Ethan Archibald, to even get that away, and it's going to end up at about the 47-yard line. So pretty effective to kick that from the goal line and at least keep it low. And that's what you got to do. If you're in a world of hurt, keep it low and try to get some roll on it. And he got a good 20-yard roll.
Yeah, he was playing hot potato with it there inside the purple end zone. And the first thing he had to do after he gained control is check what Manti's doing as the rush is coming. He was able to roll out to the left and get kind of a line drive punt off. It got a really good roll. And
not an easy thing for a right-footed punter there, by the way. It's pretty athletic. So the Templars with good field position at the 46-yard line, their own 46 here, going right to left in this first quarter of play. They'll flip their tight end, bring him to the left-hand side, have an H-back right behind him and try to run to that side. Pickup of maybe 2 on the carry off from the side to the left. The Templars will run a lot of players in and out. They run that fly offense with some motion in it, the speed back set. They'll trade their tight ends in and out as well as some of those speed backs, and sometimes a 2-man backfield, 1 man. They'll run under center, they'll run shotgun, various looks in that fly offense, which is just an innovation of West Coast and all kinds of derivatives off that. After the 2-yard pickup
by Caleb Harris.
Pick up to the 48. Hand it to the tailback and just into a host of Judge Memorial players. Again, Templars trying to attack that left-hand side, which is the opposing team's side if you run to that side defensively. So a yard gain there is going to bring up 3rd and 7 for Manti at the 49-yard line.
I would have liked to see Caleb Harris that time bounce that out as the hole was plugged really well, but to the sideline because they had all the receivers on the opposite sideline. There wasn't as much defense over here, and there was a big cluster of Manti and Judge Memorial players right there where he tried to go.
So 3rd down at the 49. Judge Memorial very stiff after a breakdown on their special teams. And they'll bring motion the Templars and swing it to the outside, get it on the isolation, try to turn the corner, and will be shy of the 1st down. So they got the completion into the hands of Braxton Good, but he was not able to break it up the field after a pickup of about 3 yards on that. And it will bring up a 4th down and 4 for the Manti Templars.
I believe it was Dylan Clark out there on the corner for Judge Memorial making the first contact and causing the tackle.
Here in the 1st quarter, it's scoreless, 8:45 remaining. You talked about how well these teams know each other. A lot of teams, when that speed back goes in motion, a lot of teams shift over defensively. Judge Memorial, they knew stay home, the play's going to come backside, and sure enough, they were right there home for it. So the 4th down and a punt situation. And it's a lot of times they'll run this kind of a punt, and it's Wright, Derek Wright, running to the right-hand side. Fair catch made at the 16-yard line. And he was having to look a little bit into the sun there as well, looking north to south. So it'll be at the 16-yard line for Judge Memorial to take over here with a 1st and 10. Coming up at halftime, we'll have our Southern Utah University halftime show, a curriculum deliberately built to focus on your experience. So the ball at the 16 for Judge Memorial, their 2nd possession, wide side to the right. They go left to right. Templars shifting around in that defensive front. Hand to the fullback, and he's driven back after maybe a pickup of about a half a yard. Let's say if they give him about a half a yard on this one. Judge Memorial staying very basic with fullback dive so far. Pickup of a yard. Pretty close, and it's going to be 2nd down for Judge Memorial and 9 to go at the 17-yard line.
The switch up Manti was doing was stacking their defensive end on the tackle to switch it up on the coverage.
Pitch to the outside, turn the corner, taken out about the 20-yard line. Out there defensively for Manti is Jordan Howe, a key player in that Templar team. One of those juniors. They got a pack of juniors, this Templars team does. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 4 now for Judge Memorial. Again, running no huddle after the pickup there of 5 yards. So
no huddle becomes most effective when
yes.
When you get those 1st down or those 3rd down conversions.
Doesn't give the defense time to adjust. Big gaps along Templars front. They'll ride to the fullback, give it to the fullback, breaks to the outside, breaks a tackle, being chased by Daniels to the far side, 45, back into the middle of the field, and finally taken down at the 42-yard line. The big back who can move, finally chased down by the Manti Templars. Getting the tackle was Trevor Alder coming across on the big gainer for Judge Memorial.
As he broke to the sideline there at about the 50 after gaining, 20, 25 yards and still moving. I thought he would run down the sideline, and when he cut back to the sideline, he still cleared Derek Wright before Alder was able to take him down.
39-yard run for the 1st down for Judge Memorial on that one. Wide side is to the right. They'll bring a stutter motion, hand it up the middle again on the dive, and a pickup of about 3. Seems like around Judge Memorial's philosophy, which it often is, just what you call in boxing, just punch to the gut, and just try to soften up that middle.
Yeah, and Coach Meekum said this week, we got to stop their big plays, and on their 2nd drive, that's what we just saw.
Yep. So a pickup of almost 3 down to the Manti 37. We'll bring up a 2nd down and 7. Judge waiting for the play from the sideline this time. So they run no huddle, but it still took a lot of time to get that play in. The Templars doing a lot of that stack at the defensive end and then attacking a gap. Handoff fullback right-hand side and just works his way hard to the 33-yard line. So give him a pickup of 4 on that one. And they'll have the ball on a 3rd down call once again.
Jordan Howe again part of that tackle. Doug Sheese is the one that's the DN that is stacking up on that tackle. He was right in the hole, but he actually overshot making a tackle in the backfield.
So a 3rd and 3 at the 33-yard line. Got a wing right. He'll come in motion to overload the left-hand side. Pitch sweep left-hand side. Got room to the outside. Turning the corner back to the inside at the 10, the 5, and gets it across for the touchdown. So that one coming from 33 yards out on the pitch sweep, and they just had numbers out there. And great blocks out in that open field. If you watch that, if you get a chance on some replay, you will just see how they take them out individually, one-on-one on the blocks to the outside on that sweep by Judge Memorial. That score coming at the 6-minute mark.
Yes, as that sweep reached the hash mark while still in the backfield, I could see from up here it was a guaranteed 15 yards before he was going to get a defender in his face.
Jordan Howe tried to make the tackle right near the goal line to stop the touchdown, but they got it in, and here's the extra point attempt up. And that one is, we've got a flag flies, and the block was by Doug Sheese on the attempted extra point by Tim Hemmersmeyer. Let's see what the flag is all about here.
Sheese might have come through a little early.
Yeah, he got there pretty quick, didn't he?
The ref running all the way over to discuss this with Cordova over on Judge Memorial.
This would be their options. But it is it's a penalty against Judge Memorial, so they give him an explanation.
And that means they stop the play before the snap.
Yep. So they get to attempt again from the 15-yard line here on the extra point attempt. So penalty plays in their favor here. It gives them another chance. And they go a long count this time. Placement down, up again, and just hits the uprights and does not go through. And it was Sheese again coming through with some heavy pressure. So Doug Sheese, a big junior linebacker, putting the pressure on. It's 6-0, Judge Memorial leading. 6 minutes remaining, first period, back in a minute.
The Fairview Telephone Company was founded in 1903 to bring telephone service to small communities in central Utah when no one else would. That small phone company is now Centricom, and our vision hasn't changed. We want rural central Utah to have the very best options for high-speed internet, cable TV, and home phone. Why? Because we live here too. Centricom, your local telecommunications company.
Our coverage here of the Manti Templars and Judge Memorial Bulldogs. Judge Memorial leading it at 6-0. And 6 minutes remaining here in the first period. Big runs, 39-yard run, and then a couple of shorter ones, and then a 33-yard run for the touchdown. And the rushing yardage mounting up because of those to 88 yards for Judge Memorial in that touchdown drive. And it was a 6-play drive is all it took for them to take from their own 16, 84 yards for the touchdown. And Judge Memorial to kick off. Templars to return from right to left. Defenders at the return men at the 5. High kick and going to go into the end zone barely. So it'll be Manti to come out to the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 at the 20 for the Manti Templars. Did not generate a first down in their first possession against that stiff defense of Judge Memorial. From the 20-yard line between the hashes here with the 1st and 10 as the quarterback, Derek Wright, comes out on the field, part of that bunch of juniors that we talked about that the Templars have a lot of. They'll have to rebuild that offensive line some next year, but they have a lot of skill position players coming back next year. And the Templars will run a tight formation here with 2 running backs split with the quarterback under center. Speed backs left. He'll come in motion to the right-hand side. That's Stevens. Clears to the right-hand side. And Wright going to look to throw. Going to look back across the middle. Got some pressure. Rolls to the right-hand side. Looks to throw deep. Trying to get it up there and incomplete. And I think he was hoping that a receiver would break deep. They had kind of held up. And you've got to do that if you're a receiver. You just can't stop. You've got to improvise and try to get yourself to an open spot. So an incompletion there.
Yeah, especially trying to get to the open spot while the pass coverage has made it so he hasn't thrown the ball. The pocket collapses. You got to keep moving. Even if you turn and come back towards the quarterback, even towards this west side of the field, there was some open field for the receivers to work.
2nd down and 10 after the incompletion. Judge Memorial with good defense there. As Wright rolled to buy a lot of time. Again, 2 running backs. Motion left to right. That speed back will clear to the right-hand side. And they blow it dead.
Right guard on Manti flinched. I could see it from up here, and then the flag flies.
Templars had probably gone to the long count. Stuart Lott was the one that went in motion, another junior running back for Manti. So now they'll be back to the 15. The clock stopped here in this first quarter of action. Penalty costing Manti. Put him second and 15 at the 15. Artificial turf here at Stewart Stadium.
Makes a difference this time of year.
Boy, and it's sure nice to see these numbers, be able to spot it on the field. Motion, pass action. Wright is in trouble, tries to skirt out, and he goes down. They came at him from both angles, and he goes down at the 5-yard line. That'll be a -10 on the sack. And of course, in that situation, Judge Memorial can send a lot, and the Templars just didn't have time with the pass protection to let him plant and go.
Yes, as a tackler came from the side, Wright did the right thing, moved forward. The problem is there was another defender right there in his face and took him down.
So now the 3rd down and long for the Manti Templars. They have to get clear out to the 30 for a first down, and they are at the 5. Trailing 6-0 in the first quarter of this matchup. They'll have a spread set here with one running back, the tailback. And look for Wright in the end zone. Throws it out to the sideline. Intercepted, and it is going to be out of bounds. He just needed to throw that up a little higher and try to get it thrown away. But there was a lot of pressure in the end zone, and he went down. And he looks up to realize that it was just intercepted on the sideline. The play action throws just a little bit, but here came penetration through the offensive line, just not giving him protection they needed. And it was picked on the sideline by Judge Memorial's Dylan Clark, a senior, and he stepped out after the interception at the 12-yard line. So that's where they'll have it 1st and 10 at the Manti 12 here for Judge Memorial after the turnover. Wide side of the field to the left as Auer sets his offense. Motion from left to right. Hand it to the fullback, breaks a couple of tackles, and it's to the 5-yard line. And the touchdown saving tackle for the Manti Templars reaching out there is Tristan Daniels. Kind of an undersized middle linebacker, but he has had a very successful year.
Yeah, he's very effective there. And also you see middle linebackers like him doing a leadership role, calling the plays. And boy, he's done well for Manti.
So from the just outside the 5-yard line, 2nd down. And the handoff again to the right-hand side. Same spot. They just ran a little hole wider. And again on the carry, the big fullback, Maxwell Barnett, pushes his way in for the touchdown for Judge Memorial here at the 4:27 mark. So they attacked right-hand side both times, got excellent blocking. The Templars had a defensive end stepping into a gap. He stepped on past that play. He really could have pinched down and had a shot at it as I look at it here on the replay.
Yeah, it almost looks to me like his assignment from the coaches this week in practice is for him to come hard and go straight at the quarterback. That's one of the strategies you do against an option quarterback.
So they're having their extra point attempt, try to go for 2, and they plunge it in again with the big fullback. Barnett getting the 2-point conversion, putting Judge up here 14-0 at the 4:27 mark in the first period. We'll be back in 1 minute.
Providing full title service in the area for over 60 years now. D-Land Title of Manti and Richfield has been serving the area since 1946. Merrill Ogden and his qualified staff can handle all document preparation, title searches, and title insurance. When your financial transactions require title work, request D-Land Title of Manti or Richfield. With over 60 years of service, call or visit D-Land Title for a no-obligation consultation on your title work. That's D-Land Title of Manti and Richfield.
Have you heard? Central Valley Medical Center is now providing orthopedic surgery. That's right, Dr. Joel Holman is a full-time orthopedic surgeon practicing in Nephi. You no longer need to drive to the Wasatch Front for hip replacement, knee replacement, fracture care, hand surgery, and general orthopedic care. Dr. Holman completed a residency in general orthopedics and a fellowship in hand surgery at the U of U and sees patients in the Nephi Medical Clinic inside Central Valley Medical Center. Call 435-623-3633, 623-3633.
A kickoff. This one's high and goes into the end zone as well, about a yard deep. So again, Manti to come out to the 20, trailing 14-0 to the Judge Memorial Bulldogs here in this first quarter of action. 4:27 remaining. Halftime show coming up, presented by Southern Utah University. Experience more learning, growing, maturing, hiking, dancing, and living at Southern Utah University. So a turnover by Manti Templars on their second possession. And they'll start now here again at their own 20. They had the penalty a while ago and then the sack of 10, and that really put them deep in the hole. And the pick to the outside on that outside pass. So 1st and 10 at the 20 between the hashes. Derek Wright, the junior quarterback, will set it with a single running back. Bring motion from right to left this time. Hand it, try to get speed sweep around the corner, and met there Judge Memorial. Boy, you don't defend that much better than the way Judge did right there. Closing it with Dylan Clark. He's having a good first half of play here for Judge.
Keolani Palue was also out there on the tackle, number 48.
So it's going to bring up 2nd down and 13 now for Manti as they try to run a speed sweep. Judge Memorial, of course, just the cream of the crop. Got to face it in 3A football. And the private school that's in 3A. A lot of gaps up front by Judge Memorial. Wright's going to play action, going to look long down the sideline, and his receiver kind of stumbled over there looking for the tight end release. Wright really fired that, but he fired it a little too wide and a little too long, so that'll bring up an incompletion.
Yeah, the ball ended up being uncatchable out of bounds, but just barely. That was the first time we've actually seen enough time given to Wright by the offensive line, as Judge Memorial's defensive line has done an excellent job of collapsing the pocket.
Judge Memorial putting a lot of confidence in those linebackers because of that big gaps they've got up front. And the Templars have not really been able to get through those gaps when the linebackers close so quickly. So 3rd down and 13 now at the 17-yard line. Tighten it up. Judge Memorial did a little bit with that defensive end on the near side. Motion comes from near to far side. And the back judge throwing a flag way back at the 35-yard line. Did he saw somebody move for the Templars? I think somebody on the outside moved. And so here's the Templars with another 5-yard mark off. So the 3rd and 13 now becomes 3rd and 18 for Manti. And the ball will be clear back at the 12-yard line. Dismal first quarter for Manti at this point. 14-0 Judge the lead. 3:42 remaining in the first period. Manti will be at the left hash, wide side of the field to the right from a shotgun. One running back in, 4 spreads. They'll run the motion from left to right to overload the right-hand side. And set there. Wright gets the snap, looks, plants, looks, in trouble, throws it in the vicinity of a receiver. Did a good job that time of getting into no man's land and avoiding the sack for the safety. So heads up play by Derek Wright. He just did the best thing he could right there.
Yeah, excellent job by Manti's lineman there, giving him enough time. The coverage was just too much for him on his receivers because 3-4 seconds is the most that you can you expect your lineman to get. We even had a helmet come off there again, so I believe it was for Manti Caden Gentry that had his helmet come off. He's had trouble with that all year.
Check down receiver was open on that last play, and Wright just didn't see him. He probably wouldn't have got a first down, but at least he had an open receiver on a short pattern. Punt situation, Wright will run to the right-hand side, booted out of there. Line driver that is going to bounce inside the 40, inside the 35 to about the 27-yard line. Boy, that thing just keeps going and going and going. Ends up finally at about the 26, so he gets 25 yards plus on the roll of that using the rugby-type punt style, and they'll place it down just inside the 27-yard line. So that's where Judge Memorial will take over here. 3:22 remaining. Templars even have not generated a first down yet in this ball game. Judge Memorial leading at 14-0. 2-play drive, and the other one was a 6-play drive for their scores. The one set up after the interception. So Judge at their own 27, their 4th possession of the first quarter. Make the pitch sweep to the outside, being chased and cutting back inside and getting loose, but then going down for a loss of a couple. It was Wesley Wright, the defensive end that was in pursuit, kind of turned the play in. And Wesley Wright has had an excellent year from that defensive end spot. Undersized for a DN, but he's made up for it.
He's scrappy, and he missed the last game against Judge this year. The defensive end is the one that on a sweep play, the blocking scheme is supposed to take care of the best. So for him to break out there and catch him out by the 20-yard number out there, that really shows what contribution he does.
Loss of 2 Looking to throw. Howard going to look long down the sideline. Got a receiver open. Makes the fall. He fell down. It was thrown just a little bit behind him and could not haul it in. In the coverage for Manti was Thomas Allred. He's the corner that teams have picked on a lot. That time they had it in the hands of Xavier Price, but it was a little bit behind him. The junior receiver goes incomplete, and it'll bring up a third down and 12 for Judge at the 25-yard line.
Good in for Allred now, and there was some good separation there between receiver and defender.
Quarterback under center, looking to throw, incomplete. He was rushed a bit, had pressure coming through from Wesley Wright at that defensive end spot, and Wright kind of disrupted that series single-handedly. For the Manti Templars defensively, the incompletion by Judge will bring up a punting situation for the Bulldogs.
Right now, both teams have failed twice to make third down conversions, but Judge Memorial's had one more try, and they did get one third down conversion on a big play.
Line up at the left hash here for the punt situation, and Judge Memorial will go into a shift to kind of spread that out and keep a lot of gaps up front. They'll wait for the inside. I'm sure the Templars have seen that before. And the snap is back. Quarterback's going to try to keep it to the outside and being pursued, but gets taken down and driven out of bounds before he gets to the first down marker. So it was Tristan Daniels that came over with help of Caleb Harris. And so Judge Memorial gambles, does not convert the first down, and Manti will take over with excellent field position here inside the 38-yard line.
Is that Ethan Archibald, the punter there for,
I think so, yeah,
for Judge, that did a fake punt and ran? And Doug Sheese took a good hit there towards the end of the play. It was a fair hit, but slow to get up.
Handoff right-hand side. Templars going to get some room around the corner. Segal gets out of bounds across the way, but not after he picked up 5 yards. Segal playing very injured. He's got a bad knee, but was able to get some yardage going there for the Manti Templars.
Yeah, the biggest struggle that Segal will have with that knee, he's practiced, he keeps playing, is it's hard for him to cut with that knee and plant and change. So he's not doing any returning on special teams for Manti. Also, we don't see him on defense where he used to play safety.
So second and short 5 for Manti, wide side left. Motion will come from right to left. Handed off on the dive, and a pickup of maybe 2 yards to the 25 with Harris on the dive play, who's been very effective. It just shows you how tough Judge Memorial is on the inside, because the Templars have been able to generate yardage pretty successfully the last couple of weeks. But that hole closed quickly. It was there initially, and then you had a linebacker going from the outside to close it down for Judge.
Joey Waltz comes off as Judge Memorial switches up their players.
Handoff right-hand side. Segal got the first down. And again, there goes the helmet. And, you know, I thought during this week they would give Gentry a totally new helmet. Because if they haven't, I think it's a helmet problem, not the straps. And so he'll have to come out for a play after the first down carry to the 20-yard line.
Harris also had his helmet off as he went to the sideline. I don't know if he took it off or if it came off in the play. But if you're on the field when it comes off, whether you take it off or not, you sit out.
5-yard gain for the Templars on that last play to get it to the 20-yard line. So they've got a 1st and 10, their first down of the ball game. And they're in positive yardage now with 1:17 remaining. Hand it off. Oh, and there's diving through. How about that defensive play? That is Kealani Palau Jr. coming through underneath and just totally disrupted that one. Boy, that's a one. Palau coming in from a middle backer spot. And he just dove through and disrupted it. Right, that's hard on the knees of a player who's got a bad knee.
Yep, right up the middle there, right past the center. They just clogged up the middle and got a Manti for a loss.
He shot a gap in the player that had checked out for Manti, right in the pocket. Going to head up the field himself. Got a little bit of running room. It'll close down a bit, but Wright turns the corner. He's at the 20, looking for a block to the outside, and Derek Wright is going to score. And coming back to make the big block was his big little brother, Wes Wright, who put the block in to spring him loose. And Derek Wright was so patient. And he's over to tell his brother, thank you for some good patience in that block, because Wright, I thought he hesitated too long, and all of a sudden he got a block laid out there by Wes Wright so he could turn the corner and put the points on the board. And a Judge Memorial player come up to Derek Wright afterward, to Wes Wright, and he says, man, you put a good block on there, dude.
Yeah,
congratulated him.
Went and congratulated him and said, good job. Neither one of the Wright brothers played in the last game against Judge.
So the placement will be down at the 10-yard line. Yeah, the Templars went with a backup quarterback that time. And Lemus to attempt the extra point, which is good. So the score at the 29-second mark here. Templars take advantage of a missed call, I think. There, Judge Memorial trying to run it on 4th down. They didn't convert. Manti takes good field position and scores. It's 14-7. We'll be back in a minute.
You've heard for years that Gunnison Market is your hometown grocer. Now Gunnison Market offers you a hometown pharmacist. Come experience friendly hometown service from Sean Sorensen at Gunnison Market Pharmacy. Sean grew up in Gunnison and offers competitive prices, expert advice, and convenient hours, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday and 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturdays. Explore the loyalty card benefits, which gives you a free gift card for every 10 prescriptions filled. Call 528-7555 or visit Gunnison Market Pharmacy.
As temperatures become cooler outside, insects will be looking for someplace warmer to live, like inside your home. Spiders, ants, earwigs, and other bugs will take refuge in your kitchen, bathroom, bedrooms, and even closets. To protect your home, call Ecolife for a professional pest control barrier. Ecolife applies a smell-free, safe for the environment product to ensure you and your family are bug-free. All services are guaranteed. Call Ecolife 283-6002.
The kickoff goes out of bounds. She's who a lot of times has kicked into the end zone, especially with a light breeze at his back. But today he's just not getting the ball square on. That one goes out of bounds. Judge Memorial will take it at the 35-yard line and go there with a 1st and 10. So the Templars took an opportunity getting the ball at the Judge 32-yard line. And in 5 plays were able to score to make this at the 29-second mark a 14-7 lead for Judge Memorial.
Manti's excellent at making adjustments in their defense as the first quarter rolls on. So let's see what comes up here.
Judge Memorial motion from left to right, and they've been going to the fullback a lot, and they go to him again, and he's to the outside, and he's going to have chasing him from the backside. Won't get him. He's going to go all the way for the touchdown. Caleb Harris took a dive at him, but boy, he's been doing the damage today, and it's just interior block and run. Maxwell Barnett, and he just steps away. I don't see a flag. Oh, there's a flag way down the field. What would that one be about? At the 25? Maybe if it's just a celebration, then the touchdown's going to count.
At the 50, there was a good block, and off camera there on the replay, can't quite see it, but we'll watch to see what they call there.
25.
One of the things that I saw during that play is the same thing we saw from Manti's defensive end, crashing hard straight at the quarterback, laying out the quarterback, but that's not where the ball is. And
it's already 4 yards upfield.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if Manti's going to adjust that strategy, but they're marking it off from the 25 where the flag was thrown, bring it back to the 40.
So did they call a personal foul? I couldn't see the ref's indication.
I couldn't see what the indication was on that.
I think that's what he motioned on it there. So they take the touchdown away, and the ball will go back to the 45-yard line. So I don't even know what to do in the stat book on this one. I guess we give him credit for the run to the 40s.
Yeah.
35-yard run is what we'll give him credit for, and a 1st down. But they'll have it at the Manti 40-yard line. And off left-hand side, they're just going, it's the workhorse so far in the form of Barnett. And he gets about a 5-yard gain there in the closing seconds of this quarter. They'll give him a 4-yard pickup, 4-yard gain, and it'll be a 2nd down call. We'll come back here with second quarter action in 1 minute.
Do you need a banking partner for your farm or business? Hi, I'm Darren Dyring, branch manager at Cache Valley Bank in Ephraim, and we have money to lend to your farm or business. If you need to upgrade equipment or purchase a new building or just expand, we can help. Also, don't forget we offer free business and personal checking accounts. So stop by and get acquainted. We want to help you succeed. Cache Valley Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
As you've all heard, Google has come to Provo with their fiber project, and you're probably wishing you had that kind of service. Well, you do. Manti Telco has had an all-fiber network and fiber to the home for the last 8 years. How awesome is that? Manti Telco has speeds up to 1 gig on an all-fiber network. Find out your speed and get the best from Manti Telco Fiber. Call 835-2929. Some restrictions apply, not available in all areas.
School Activities Association.
Larry Masco and Russ Olson with you in our coverage here of the Manti Templars and Judge Memorial Bulldogs. We've got stat people all over the place. Bob Ballman down on the field. He'll bring up some post-game stats. Wendy Olson alongside, and also the college here providing some stats for us. At this point, Judge 144 yards rushing, Manti at 22. We got second quarter action just getting underway. Judge Memorial at the Manti 36-yard line, leading at 14-7 as we begin the second quarter. Wide side of the field is to the left. They'll bring motion. And then handoff on the quarterback. He'll keep it himself. Come back to the right-hand side and keeps working. A lot of strength, and he'll pick up about a 5-yard gain for the first down. They'll give him just what he needed. Auer pulled it out from the fullback, ran right, and gets the first down.
On that, we've talked about how Manti's strategy with their defensive ends seems to be attacking that option, and on that play, just like Iyer did last year against Manti, that option went for a first down.
So first down at the 29-yard line, and hand to the fullback. Ball I might have got loose there for just a little second, kind of a juggling of it, and not any gain at all as the Templars collapsed down on it. So the ball at the 30-yard line going to be a loss of almost a yard.
Wesley Wright on the stop there for the loss. And as Manti still running the 5-man front, Judge mostly doing running.
Auer under center. Motion from right to left, and we've got players moving all over the place. Let's see which way they go with this.
We'll see if
I think
the
Judge
defense.
Memorial, yeah, because that offensive player moved, and I guess the defensive man then reacted to that. So they'll mark off 5 against Judge Memorial, and this will put the ball back at the 35-yard line again with a second down and 16 at that point now for Judge Memorial. They've got to get to the 19-yard line for the first down. Wide side to the left. And the referee just waiting yet. He's not ready to go with it.
He was discussing something with number 17 on Judge Memorial as they get ready and are ready to go.
Pick to the right-hand side on the pitch and then cut back inside. So the disruption on the outside by the Templars. You pick up who made the tackle. I'll pick up that number that kind of turned it in if I can ever get him turned sideways.
Sheese was the one that met him immediately and
Jordan
first
Howe
initiated the tackle.
Howe's the one that turned it to the inside. So now it brings up a third down and 15. So no pickup on that one. Third and long. Let's see if Judge Memorial goes to the air. Trips to the left. Wide out to the right. Rolling now into the pocket. Going to look across the middle. Too high and incomplete. In the coverage for Manti is Braxton Good, the intended receiver, Braden Pelly, and it's incomplete, and it'll bring up a fourth down call.
Excellent coverage by Manti. Doug Sheese was also putting pressure on the backside there of the quarterback, and I'm not sure if he actually was able to tip his arm as he threw that ball.
If Auer would have thrown a little earlier in the pattern, he would have had Pelly open. So we go now with a fourth down and a spot of the ball to 42 for an attempted field goal. If they go with it here.
Skinnier poles at the colleges, closer together.
Yep, they are. Placement is down, and the kick is on the way. It's going to be short and off to the right. It just makes it into the end zone barely. So the field goal is no good. 10 minutes and 9 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. And Judge Memorial, we've got a flag on the play, and this could be against Manti, and this would put it a little closer for Judge Memorial if it's a penalty on the Manti Templars. Referee saying personal foul, Manti. So the Templars get a costly penalty at this point.
Body language, I would say it's the D end on the far side.
The flag came from the kind of the near side, though, and was thrown into the middle. They were looking down on this defensive end on the near side and this west side on that.
Still fourth down.
Yeah, but fourth and a yard after the.
No, they're giving it to him.
Oh, okay. They said he had enough. First down at the 20-yard line after the penalty. So that's a penalty first down for Judge Memorial. And at the Manti 20-yard line, so a missed field goal now turns into an opportunity for Judge Memorial. Put points on the board. Motion. Hand it to the fullback. Dive again right-hand side. Cuts to the outside, and they'll get a 7 or 8 yard pickup on that one. Line of scrimmage, Judge Memorial just winning that war right now against the Manti Templars.
Jordan Howe on the tackle for Manti.
Quite a defensive game today. Pickup of 7 for Judge Memorial on that. And the ball at the 13. They'll go right side with an overload there for Judge. That's the narrow side of the field. Bring motion, hand it, nope, keep it, and swarmed under. That has not worked well when they've done any kind of keepers. And I'm not sure what Auer was looking really to do, because he didn't really have anybody out in much of a pattern.
Sheese was in there first, also Bryson Cole, I believe, or Caden Gentry, and then Wes Wright.
So that's a loss back to the 16-yard line. They were at the 13 and then have the loss there of about 3.5 yards. So it's a third down from the 16. Handed to the fullback, left-hand side. Defensive back doesn't turn, and they've got a rushing touchdown. Well, if you're the defensive back, you've got to have your heads up and be aware of where the running back is going. And once again, they just ride the big fullback for the touchdown. Maxwell Barnett's having quite a scoring game here.
Barnett made it to the 5-yard line, and he even lowered the ball down to his hip for the last 5 yards and just trotted right across the goal line. We got a Manti Templar down on the field as they're attending to him.
So the touchdown by Barnett comes at the 8:55 mark. And then it'll get that injured player attended to. Let's say about some of our sponsors: Zions Bank, Manti, Los Amigos, and Ephraim, Clean Cut Roofing, Snowcap Lanes, San Pete Valley Hospital, Jones and Mill Engineering, Rick Bartholomew Insurance, Barclay Mechanical, Big G's Automotive, Manti Telephone, Cache Valley Bank, Ecolife, Gunnison Market, D-Land Title, Centricom Channel 10 simulcasting with us today on this. And we'll have our halftime show coming up, presented by Southern Utah University. Experience more for your education. Explore higher education with a difference. Experience SUU in Cedar City. It's SUU.edu. So the injured Manti Templar here at the 8:55 mark in the second period, and how things can pivot on a penalty. Missed field goal by Judge Memorial. Manti would have had fairly decent field position on that, and instead a penalty that gave Judge Memorial the first down at the 20, and at that point they punch it in for the touchdown. Got a 7-yard gain, then the loss of 3, and then the run from 16 yards out for the touchdown by Barnett. Still attending to the injured Manti Templar, and they're going to help him up here and get him off the field now. For the Templars is Caden Gentry. He's a key in that front line.
He's coming off on his own power. He does play both directions for the line, so a key player, like you say, for Manti.
16-yard touchdown run by Barnett, and now the extra point attempt coming up for Judge Memorial to try to go up 21-7 here in the first half of play. You can name this thing Seagull Stadium. You know, I got to be honest with you, I'm finding those things annoying. We don't have that problem down in Manti.
I don't know that they've gone in front of the camera much for those watching, but from here up in the booth, we can usually see about 6 at least in between us and the play.
Yeah, well, side note. Extra point attempt coming up here for Judge Memorial. Left-footed kick. Here's the placement down. The kick is up, and it's good. So it's 21-7. Judge leading the Manti Templars. Back with the kickoff in 1 minute.
Don't take the risk of inadequate car service. For the very best in maintenance and repairs, take your vehicle to Big G Automotive in Manti. For everything from general service and care, heating and cooling service, and even transmission problems, the best place is Big G Automotive. They also have fast, reliable towing service for when you're in a jam. And don't forget that Big G Automotive is your local dealer for coast-to-coast carports. Visit Big G Automotive at 204 North Main in Manti.
An old friend was telling me he's tired of jumping on a piece of equipment just to have something come off in his hand. That won't happen when you have Barclay Mechanical on your repair team. Equipment repair or fabrication, yep, Barclay Mechanical can do. Metal or mechanical repair or fabrication, yep, you guessed it, can do at Barclay Mechanical in Manti. Call Barclay Mechanical 835-5084 or stop by 595 West 100 North in Manti. 835-5084. Oh yeah, go get 'em, Manti Templars.
Back here with our coverage and the Judge Memorial. Bulldogs leading Manti Templars 21-7. And a kickoff coming up for Judge Memorial. Manti going left to right here in this second quarter of play. Left-footed boot, high, short one, and returnable. Fumbled. 3-yard line, picked up at the 10. Return to the outside, trying to turn the corner right. Does, puts a shoulder down, gets to the 20. The outside, across the way. It stayed inbounds with an excellent return. And Templars saying there's a face mask across the way, but I don't think any referees were in a position to see it at all. So the ball was spot down after the excellent return by Derek Wright. And he does everything. He kicks, he returns kicks. Quarterback, junior, be back next year. And to take all the hits and contact he does, and he's had a few injuries, but not any more than he's had at this point. Yeah, there was a little face mask touch there, but not much of any consequence.
Yeah, Tim Hammersmeer was the one making the tackle there. That fumble was actually to Manti's advantage.
34-yard line, a shovel pass right over the middle. They've got it to the tight end, to the midfield, and he's down at about the 47. So a little shovel pass into Jordan Howe. Have we seen the Templars run that this year yet?
Not this year.
Not in that format right there.
No, and they have tried to throw to the tight end tonight, but not in that position in the field. That worked really well. It's kind of a screen pass almost there. As I was saying earlier, too, on that kick return, by the ball dropping to the ground, it actually collapsed the defense down on him, allowing Wright to skirt around to the outside.
So the Templars with a 1st and 10 after the 12-yard completion to the 46. He's in the shotgun. Looking to the left and out of the right. Going to roll to the right. Still being pressured. Throws it across the middle. Has it complete. Doing a good job of improvising. Now that's when a receiver improvises. Jordan Howe presented himself, got himself open, and Wright delivered.
This is an excellent opportunity for Manti there too, because when you start making success on passes like that, it's going to open up everything. The defensive or the running lanes, the defense is going to drop back more, being conservative on the run game.
Judge Memorial 45-yard line, and a 2nd down and short. And Judge Memorial's playing some safeties to the outside. The handoff will come right-hand side. And boy, that was right around the upper body, because all of a sudden the feet went out from under him from a high tackle and got maybe a foot at the most on the carry by Seago. So it's going to be 3rd and short after no pickup on that one.
Patrick Maka, number 56 for the Bulldogs, making the stop. Also, was it 66 in on it.
So he brings up a 3rd and short for Manti at the 45-yard line, and the offensive line just not able to generate a whole lot in the conventional run game. 2 running backs are down. They'll bring motion from right to left. Lott will stay in the left slot, and then you'll come back to the right-hand side. And then they'll hand it off right-hand side, and Seago does not get the 1st down. They tried to run kind of a deeper handoff that time and let him work. Judge Memorial does so well getting down low and getting underneath. You can watch how they get down underneath and get the leverage in the trenches up on that front line. And closing that, and again, you've got a penetration by a linebacker who just shut that one down for Judge Memorial.
Keolani Palau.
Yeah, Palau, he's had a heck of a game. Timeout on the field. We'll be back here in 30 seconds.
For integrity, honesty, and technical expertise, think of Jones and DeMille Engineering. With offices in Richfield, Roosevelt, Price, and Manti, they're committed to servicing their clients with civil and structural engineering, construction management, surveys and GIS mapping, and material testing. They use state-of-the-art equipment to help you meet your budgets and deadlines. Visit jonesanddemille.com or find them on Facebook. Since 1982, Jones and DeMille Engineering, your infrastructure professionals.
The ball setting at the 45-yard line, and Manti will have 4th and short. Twice they tried to go right side and not able to convert either time on a short yardage situation. The Templars have had to kind of run some open stuff to get things generated offensively. Their conventional sets have not worked, including the speed sweep.
Manti's going to go for it.
Yep, right is up under center. They'll go long count, I'm sure. Clear the speed back left. Hand it to the left-hand side, and there is the first down by Sego. And then hammered down, but he was able to get it to the left-hand side. So they ran basically misdirection there, kind of countered that one to be able to get the first down.
You know, that's one of the good things about this fly offense for Manti is a lot of the plays look the same. Ben Tiatia pulling out on the line to get a block. Number 10 for Judge Memorial, Christian Ellis, is the one with the tackle.
So first down call for Manti at the 43. Second first down in this quarter for Manti. They had one in that first half. And they'll have Wright to the left-hand side, throws it out to the outside, got rid of it. And his tight end, who it kind of held up in the pattern there. You really wonder if that tight end really supposed to develop that out further, because Wright threw it to an outside after that. That was a defensive back blitz. That receiver is wide open. And when you're right open, you know, it's hard for a receiver to realize that, but go on ahead and develop the pattern. It was kind of a button hook thing. He should have just run that out because there was a cornerback blitz coming through, and that's what forced Wright to hurry the throw.
Yeah, and we had Christian Ellis again there putting pressure on Wright, causing him to make the throw as quick as he could.
Motion from right to left, and Wright in the pocket. Got a little bit of time this time. Looks down the left-hand side, and a little high for Trevor Alder. And overthrown a bit there by Derek Wright. So they got that one in the vicinity, but just too high for Alder. Alder did an inside and then an outside route and was able to get open, but just too far. And incompletion will bring up a third down call at the 43. We're at the 6-minute mark here in the second quarter. Judge 21, Manti 7 in this matchup for the 3A semifinal. Winner will play the winner of tomorrow's Juab and Union matchup, and we'll be broadcasting that game on our group of stations out of Manti as well.
The offense is facing the sun as we got a timeout, I believe, on the field.
Timeout taken by Manti here at the 6-minute mark. We'll do likewise and be back in 1 minute.
Rick Bartholomew here at Risk Managers Insurance in downtown Ephraim. Paying your insurance in these hard economic times is not a pleasant experience. For most, it can be a sacrifice. We at Risk Managers know how you feel and are dedicated to making the burden lighter. We are here to help take care of any insurance problem or question you may have. We represent many top-of-the-line insurance companies. Come in and see us at 110 North Main, or call Mark or Rick at Risk Managers 283-4685.
So, wondering where to go after the game? How about Snowcap Lanes in Ephraim? Not only is the bowling great, but the food at Snowcap, one word, incredible! From the amazing line of mouth-watering burgers and sandwiches to the fabulous prime rib on Friday and Saturday nights. Then check Tuesday and Wednesdays as open bowling days. And now's the time to sign up for bowling leagues. There's openings for men, women, and mixed doubles. Hey, it's a great way to meet people and make new friends. The place for fun and food. The Snowcap Lanes on South Main in Ephraim.
On a third down call, Wright scrambles, comes to the right-hand side, gets a nice block there, cuts back to the inside, and Derek Wright scrambles for a first down, which he's done so much this year, but he got a real helpful block along the way there to pick up that first down yardage to the 30-yard line.
It almost looked like he intended to tuck it and run the entire time. He dropped back for it looked like a pass, like the pocket developing. Who was it on that block?
Sego made a nice block for him, Bradley Sego, the veteran senior for the Manti Templars. Well, the Templars do get the first down on the quarterback scramble to the Judge Memorial 30-yard line. Right to left, handed off right up the middle, and nothing there. That's just kind of shut down at the 30-yard line. So the Templars were able to get the 13-yard gain for the first down. All right, but then no pickup there. Half a yard they'll give him there, and it'll bring a second down, long 9, just inside the 30-yard line.
A big Noah Ellis for Judge Memorial there as a sophomore, but he looks like he might be the biggest guy down there. He's a nice trim fellow too. He's not
lean and mean.
Yep, he's lean and mean.
It's right. Rolling to the left-hand side, looking, says go long, and then he'll turn it up the field. He gets a little bit of a block from Lott across the way. Referee takes the worst hit out of that as he goes down, and he's helped up by a Judge Memorial player. So Lott springing loose Derek Wright. And I don't, Judge Memorial fans that are watching this on streaming can correct us, but I am wondering if these Ellis boys are not the sons of Luther Ellis, who played at the U of U, high school player out of where I grew up in southern Colorado.
Excellent job by Lott as we watch the replay as he was trying to signal to the quarterback, hey, I'm open, you can toss it to me. He recognizes that the quarterback's going to tuck and run, and so he sets up for the block and adds another 5 to 7 yards on that as we're going for second down now.
It actually should be 3rd down and 2 after that 7-yard gain, and a referee's timeout here with 4:44. He wants some more time on the clock, apparently. Well, that was about 7 to 8 yard gain by Wright on that last carry, which brings up which I thought should be 3rd down because they had a 1 yard gain and then the 7-yard gain.
And that's what we got on our
3rd
stats.
down on this side. So
on this side,
yeah,
they've got, usually on high school, they don't have the down marker on both sides. Now they're going to 2nd down on both sides.
Wait a minute. Here comes the side judges coming in again. 3rd down. I think the one on this side, he's not the official one. Yeah, but he's probably the one that had it right.
And the way that they keep track of that, the refs have an elastic that goes from their wrist up over which finger it should be, because it's not the person helping display the number that keeps track of it. The ref is the one that officially keeps track of that.
Well, they're keeping it at 2nd down on the one side and 3rd down on the near side. So now they go back to 2nd down. Okay, I think Judge Memorial had a point to be made there. Whatever.
Our stats say the same.
Yep. Handoff, left-hand side. Siegel to the outside. Tries to spin inside. Got close to the 1st down marker. He needed 2. And I think they got enough for the 1st down inside the 20 at the 19-yard line. So we'll credit him with a 3-yard gain in the 1st down. So they got the 1st down. I guess it's all academic at this point. With the ball spotted at the 19 and 4:38 remaining. 21-7, Judge Memorial leading over the Manti Templars. And the Templars converting another 1st down.
That's 5 this game.
Looking to the right-hand side, and that's not going anywhere. Judge Memorial with penetration. And they just got, where are the offensive linemen? They are all up at the line of scrimmage, and there's defensive men coming in behind it. So she's outside linebacker blitz, and the running back blocker did not pick up the outside backer blitz. And that just totally disrupted that carry that Bradley Siegel, who's kind of hurting anyway, and he got sacked for a loss there of 3.
Keolani Palau, first one to meet him there.
Back split, right in the pocket. Going to roll to the right-hand side, looking, pressured, going to scoot out, comes to the right-hand side, gets inside the 20. So a pickup of about 4 yards by Wright. He got tackled finally from the backside. And he's been very productive out of the pocket and the scramble this year for the Templars. So 4-yard gain there. That'll bring up 3rd down. If I'm right here on my downs, it is 3rd down and a long 8 for Manti.
With Wright, when he scrambles, one of the things I see defenders do, and especially tonight, is they don't take the right angle to beat him to the sideline, and he's quick, deceptively quick to him.
Wide side of the field to the left on the 3rd and long, right in the pocket. Scoots to the right-hand side. Going to throw back across the grain, try to get high enough. Incomplete. He's going to learn that is the hardest throw to make in football. Had a defender with a chance at it. He couldn't quite get it. Tried to loft it up where Bradley Siegel had a chance. He couldn't get to it.
And Siegel didn't look, wasn't expecting the pass until the ball was at its peak in the throw. Right there, all of a sudden, the ball's at its peak, and then Siegel's like, oh, wait, here it comes.
Yeah, and there was a receiver open at the 10-yard line for the Templars on a out pattern. Down and out, but Wright didn't see him, and then he opted to come back to the left-hand side. Well, that will bring up a 4th down after that incompletion.
That's the 4th 3rd down that Manti has not been able to convert on tonight.
From the shotgun, they'll go run trips to the left, bring motion from the inside to the left, and looking, whoops, we've got the play blown dead, I guess.
And I don't know if somebody
they were going to run screen left, don't you think? It looked like a screen left of the pass play.
Yeah, and I think there was a timeout. They haven't signaled.
Judge Memorial apparently
Judge
took
Memorial
timeout.
Oh, Manti.
Oh, Manti took their third timeout of the half. We'll be back here in 30 seconds.
The medical care you receive shouldn't depend on where you live. People in rural towns should receive the same high-quality medicine as those in the big cities. You can rest assured that Sanpete Valley Hospital provides their patients with the same high-quality care and advanced technology you'd receive if you drove to the city. They provide many of the same services a large city hospital does, and they do it well, with a personal, hometown touch. Intermountain Sanpete Valley Hospital, healing for life.
21-7, Judge leading Manti, and the Manti Templars with a fourth down at the 18-yard line of Judge Memorial. And they will bring a tight end now and set him tight. Had him flexed out, now bring him tight. The shotgun right, looking, and have to roll to the right-hand side. And scoots back to the left-hand side again. Now back to the right-hand side, zing and zagging, looking into the end zone, and incomplete. Oh, he was back and forth, and the old defenders thinking this is like running ladders. Up and down and up and down. If they stayed with him, forced the throw, and goes incomplete, so the Templars turned it over on downs.
By the time right through that, he was about 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage. He was scrambling so well, he was staying away from all the defenders. He threw it into the corner where nobody could get to it.
Kicked that one, you know, if he'd had a receiver break deep, he would have got there. And that was Stuart Lott, because it was thrown to where a receiver could get to it right near the end line, but it didn't develop, and the Templars turned it over, and Judge will have it here at their own 18-yard line with a 2-touchdown lead. And they've been running at will in their running game. This pickup of about 3 to the right-hand side on the carry by Maxwell Barnett, senior running back. And so he gets 3, first down, goes to a 2nd down and 7 after that pickup here at the 2:32 mark in the second quarter. Halftime show coming up, presented by Southern Utah University. From a new freshman to a graduate student. Hand off left-hand side. And getting a couple of yards and then driven back by a host of Manti Templars. So the gain will be out to the 24-yard line. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 4.
Manti, of course, has switched to a 4-man front, getting another defensive back in, because the biggest threat here is the pass.
And Templars stacking the middle backers, and they scoot to the right-hand side. That made it hard for the line of Judge Memorial to make a read. Tristan Daniels in the stack scoots the right-hand side, but I think they got just enough on the power to get that first down for Judge Memorial.
Jordan Howe on the tackle. I think they might bring the chains out. They got to set the ball first.
And so they'll spot it down outside the hashes and then bring the chains on to measure it. Well, today's ball game is presented in part by Sunrise Engineering. They'll sponsor our post-game show. By Ecolife, Cache Valley Bank, Manti Telephone, and Big G's Automotive, Barclay Mechanical, Rick Bartholomew Insurance. Coming up on our halftime show, we'll have a look at, we don't have scores really to pass along, just a couple from earlier today in the 2A matchups. They've got that championship set for next week at SUU. But we'll have a look at all of our stats for you. Southern Utah University stat review at halftime of our broadcast. 21-7, Judge the lead over Manti. Got the first down for Judge at 1:49 remaining.
First down for the Bulldogs.
So 4-yard gain, got the first down. Judge at nearly 180 yards in rushing. Manti at about 50. Manti around 75 yards total offense, so they're not even half of what Judge Memorial has. Scoreboard pretty indicative of what's happening on the stat sheet as well. So from the 28-yard line for Judge Memorial, a 1st and 10, wide side of the field is to the right. Single back down. They'll bring motion and overload it. And make the pitch to the outside, ball off the turf, picked up, running back snowed under. Well, there now is when they hit on the quarterback, which the Templars have been doing all season. And when Judge Memorial, when they've done the quick handoffs, that's not much of an effective thing. But when you try to make the pitch play, then it did disrupt things, and it caused the fumble. It was covered up by Judge Memorial, but a big loss.
Yeah, and that allowed both defensive ends for Manti to come and meet right on the ball carrier.
So the loss of 10 brings up 2nd down and long And Judge Memorial will go Barnett up the middle this time for a pickup of 8 yards. So he's going to get back some of that lost yardage and turn it into a 3rd down and 12 just outside the 25-yard line. And Judge Memorial to take a timeout. We'll be back in 1 minute.
Bargain roofing job failing and your ceiling is damaged? Is your siding looking really shabby? Or you just want a new look? For as little as $150 per month, Clean Cut Roofing and Siding will update your home using 100% American-made products. That's right, all made right here in the great USA. And hey, take 48 to 120 months to pay. Fit it into your budget. Call Clean Cut Roofing and Siding for a free consultation, 435-427-3205. Or check them out on Facebook. Clean Cut Roofing and Siding. Peace of mind every time.
Are you ready for a fiesta? It's always fiesta time with Mexican food that you crave at Los Amigos. Try the Mexican steak or one of my favorites, their fajitas or chimichangas. They have smothered burritos and enchiladas, non-alcoholic drinks, and kids' meals. They use homemade flour tortillas, and every table gets chips and the secret salsa. And check out their Friday specials. It's fiesta time at Los Amigos, 30 East and 700 South in Ephraim, right behind the movie theaters.
So for the Judge Memorial Bulldogs, a 3rd down and long 12 from the 25-yard line. They'll probably go to a long count. They bring motion, look to throw, looking long, no to the outside. And did he keep it off the grass for the catch? I would say yes, and they say yes. Nice catch made on the outside by Xavier Price. Price on a down and out, was well defended. The defender kind of taking things away there. Linebacker was in the short coverage, and the defender almost got a tip on it. And the question was whether he kept it off the turf, and he did a good job of coming around and showing it. And here's the hour looking long, got a receiver way down open. He makes the catch at the 10 and gets it into the end zone. Hour scrambled, and he was close to the line of scrimmage when he threw that thing. But again, they got the receiver Xavier Price, the junior speedster, open deep for the touchdown.
As they called that timeout earlier, one of the things that it shows is the confidence that they had not only in their defense if they didn't make a first down conversion, but also that they were going to drive that last minute to get a touchdown, and they did.
Trying to put a clincher on here with the extra point attempt now coming up. So they worked their receiver in the passing game. And the kick is up, kind of a soft one, but it's good. So Judge Memorial takes a 28-7 lead over the Manti Templars with 33 seconds remaining. Back with the kickoff in a minute.
Are you ready for a weekend away? Jorgensen's Honda is the place to start. They carry a full line of RVs to make that trip a lasting memory. With models like Yellowstone, Conquest, Amerilite, and Canyon Trail, you can find the perfect fit. For great fun and comfort, check out the full line of RVs at Jorgensen's Honda. Dennis or Mike can help you out. Stop by today at 980 South Coveview Road in Richfield, or give them a call at 435-896-6408.
When you choose to bank at Zions, you get small-town customer service from the only local bank with a statewide network of branches. Enjoy convenient access to your cash from nearly 200 Zions ATMs throughout Utah and Idaho. At Zions Bank Stampede County locations, you can take advantage of a full range of checking and savings products for your family and your business. Plus, we have top-rated online banking services. At Zions Bank, we haven't forgotten who keeps us in business. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
For the Judge Memorial Bulldogs, the kickoff coming up after the long strikes, a 15-yard pass play and then a 59-yarder. They had kind of gotten bogged down in the passing game and not a lot of productivity, but it worked there in the last couple of plays. And the kickoff is fielded around the 3-yard line and bang, and down taken on the Manti Templars. Caden Stevenson, the junior, who's back there doing some return, mishandled the ball. Wasn't sure it was going to go out of bounds, picked it up and got drilled at the 3-yard line. That's where Manti will have to run at least one play, and Judge Memorial, I think, has got a timeout left yet.
He had to run quite a bit to catch up to that ball after he that muffed catch, and that really hurt him because he was on the 5-yard line and could have at least made it out to the 12 to 15-yard line.
So Manti will have a 1st and 10 from the 3 here in the closing seconds of the first half of play. Judge Memorial leading 28-7. Templars were a little spurt of going there when they got within a touchdown at 14-7, and Manti Templars will just take a knee. Try to run it out here. Now, I don't know if the clock ever started. There we go.
Yeah, and it should run completely out. I don't know that they have to run another one where it was under 30 seconds.
Judge Memorial getting a defensive lineman out of there and another one in his place. They didn't like what the mix-up was happening down there along that line. So that is the end of the first half of play. 28-7, Judge with the lead. Our Southern Utah University halftime show coming up in 3 minutes.
The Fairview Telephone Company was founded in 1903 to bring telephone service to small communities in central Utah when no one else would. That small phone company is now Centricom, and our vision hasn't changed. We want rural central Utah to have the very best options for high-speed internet, cable TV, and home phone. Why? Because we live here too. Centricom, your local telecommunications company.
You want a quality education? How's this? All of SUU's nursing graduates passed their licensing exam on the first try in May of 2010. 100% of our students, not most of them, all of them. Small classes, caring faculty, the best facilities, that equals quality. Again, in May of 2011, 100% of our students passed the test. That's quality. You expect it, SUU delivers it.
Providing full title service in the area for over 60 years now. D-Land Title of Manti and Richfield has been serving the area since 1946. Merrill Ogden and his qualified staff can handle all document preparation, title searches, and title insurance. When your financial transactions require title work, request D-Land Title of Manti or Richfield. With over 60 years of service, call or visit D-Land Title for a no-obligation consultation on your title work. That's D-Land Title of Manti and Richfield.
You've heard for years that Gunnison Market is your hometown grocer. Now Gunnison Market offers you a hometown pharmacist. Come experience friendly hometown service from Sean Sorensen at Gunnison Market Pharmacy. Sean grew up in Gunnison and offers competitive prices, expert advice, and convenient hours, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday and 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturdays. Explore the loyalty card benefits, which gives you a free gift card for every 10 prescriptions filled. Call 528-7555 or visit Gunnison Market Pharmacy.
As temperatures become cooler outside, insects will be looking for someplace warmer to live, like inside your home. Spiders, ants, earwigs, and other bugs will take refuge in your kitchen, bathroom, bedrooms, and even closets. To protect your home, call Ecolife for a professional pest control barrier. Ecolife applies a smell-free, safe for the environment product to ensure you and your family are bug-free. All services are guaranteed. Call Ecolife 283-6002.
Do you need a banking partner for your farm or business? Hi, I'm Darren Dyring, branch manager at Cache Valley Bank in Ephraim, and we have money to lend to your farm or business. If you need to upgrade equipment or purchase a new building or just expand, we can help. Also, don't forget we offer free business and personal checking accounts. So stop by and get acquainted. We want to help you succeed. Cache Valley Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Back here with our halftime show presented by Southern Utah University. From a new freshman to a graduate student, get involved in your education and experience more learning. Our coverage here on Centricom Channel 10 and on KMTI Radio. Out of Manti, the halftime score 28-7 in favor of Judge Memorial over the Manti Templars. And we'll go to take a look at individual statistics. This halftime stat check is presented by Southern Utah University. Russ Olson will take a look at them.
Yeah, Derek Wright from quarterback position for Manti has 47 yards rushing. That's pretty much Manti's rushing game. Everybody else in single digits tonight, with Bradley Sago with 5, Caleb Harris with 2, Jordan Howe with 1. And Derek Wright did that with 4 carries. Now on receiving, Jordan Howe has 2 receptions for 22 yards, and Braxton Good made a 3-yard grab. For Judge Memorial, Max Barnett is the big name of the game tonight, defensively and offensively, with 15 carries offensively for 106 yards. Again, everybody else in single digits, with Ethan Archibald with 7 7 yards on 1 carry, and Michael Kearns totaling 5 in the 2 carries he had. Xavier Price on receiving with those 2 big receptions there to end the second quarter. 74 yards total on that, and a touchdown pass.
So that's a look at our individual stats here at halftime, presented by Southern Utah University. We'll take a 3-minute break, word from some of our sponsors, and then be back with more of the SUU halftime show.
Choosing a college is tough, but there's a big difference between 25 and 500 students in a class. SUU has small classes. It's a big difference if your professor is teaching class or doing research. SUU professors are in the classroom teaching and calling on you by name. At SUU, distinguished faculty are in small classes teaching rigorous nationally accredited programs on a safe campus in an unrivaled natural setting. Southern Utah University. There is a difference.
As you've all heard, Google has come to Provo with their fiber project, and you're probably wishing you had that kind of service. Well, you do. Manti Telco has had an all-fiber network and fiber to the home for the last 8 years. How awesome is that? Manti Telco has speeds up to 1 gig on an all-fiber network. Find out your speed and get the best from Manti Telco Fiber. Call 835-2929. Some restrictions apply, not available in all areas.
Don't take the risk of inadequate car service. For the very best in maintenance and repairs, take your vehicle to Big G Automotive in Manti. For everything from general service and care, heating and cooling service, and even transmission problems, the best place is Big G Automotive. They also have fast, reliable towing service for when you're in a jam. And don't forget that Big G Automotive is your local dealer for coast-to-coast carports. Visit Big G Automotive at 204 North Main in Manti.
An old friend was telling me he's tired of jumping on a piece of equipment just to have something come off in his hand. That won't happen when you have Barclay Mechanical on your repair team. Equipment repair or fabrication, yep, Barclay Mechanical can do. Metal or mechanical repair or fabrication, yep, you guessed it, can do at Barclay Mechanical in Manti. Call Barclay Mechanical 835-5084 or stop by 595 West 100 North in Manti. 835-5084. Oh yeah, go get 'em, Manti Templars.
Our halftime program presented by Southern Utah University, a curriculum deliberately built to focus on your experience. You can find more details at suu.edu. We're at Weber State. The halftime score, Judge Memorial 28, Manti 7. Let's take a look at our halftime scoring summary presented by Southern Utah University. In the first quarter, a 6-play drive. Judge Memorial started off with a 3-play drive and a punt. Manti Templars, they only had the 3 plays and out of it. And then Judge Memorial got the offense clicking. They started at the 16-yard line and a 6-play drive that covered the 84 yards. Barnett doing a lot of that, and he ran 5 yards for the touchdown with 4:27 remaining to put that 2-touchdown margin after the first touchdown had come at the 6-minute mark. So there was a fairly short span there, really, just 6 minutes, and then at 4:27 after the Manti Templars interception. So that one drive, Barnett only had to do it in 2 plays. They started at the Manti 12. They led 14-0. Then Derek Wright scored on a 23-yard scamper for Manti with 29 seconds remaining in that first quarter, and it was 14-7 at that point. Barnett in the second quarter on a 16-yard run with 8:55 remaining. Point after was good. That made it 21-7. And then Price, as the Weber State Stadium here saw some things lighten up by Judge Memorial in the passing attack. 15-yarder to Price on an out pattern, and then a 59-yarder deep. I think the first one was a setup and the second one was a deep, and that put the score 28-7 with 33 seconds remaining in the first half of play. So that's a look at our scoring summary presented by Southern Utah University. We'll be back with more halftime stats in 3 minutes.
For integrity, honesty, and technical expertise, think of Jones and DeMille Engineering. With offices in Richfield, Roosevelt, Price, and Manti, they're committed to servicing their clients with civil and structural engineering, construction management, surveys and GIS mapping, and material testing. They use state-of-the-art equipment to help you meet your budgets and deadlines. Visit jonesanddemille.com or find them on Facebook. Since 1982, Jones and DeMille Engineering, your infrastructure professionals.
Rick Bartholomew here at Risk Managers Insurance in downtown Ephraim. Paying your insurance in these hard economic times is not a pleasant experience. For most, it can be a sacrifice. We at Risk Managers know how you feel and are dedicated to making the burden lighter. We are here to help take care of any insurance problem or question you may have. We represent many top-of-the-line insurance companies. Come in and see us at 110 North Main, or call Mark or Rick at Risk Managers 283-4685.
So, wondering where to go after the game? How about Snowcap Lanes in Ephraim? Not only is the bowling great, but the food at Snowcap, one word, incredible! From the amazing line of mouth-watering burgers and sandwiches to the fabulous prime rib on Friday and Saturday nights. Then check Tuesday and Wednesdays as open bowling days. And now's the time to sign up for bowling leagues. There's openings for men, women, and mixed doubles. Hey, it's a great way to meet people and make new friends. The place for fun and food. The Snowcap Lanes on South Main in Ephraim.
The medical care you receive shouldn't depend on where you live. People in rural towns should receive the same high-quality medicine as those in the big cities. You can rest assured the Semi Valley Hospital provides their patients with the same high-quality care and advanced technology you'd receive if you drove to the city. They provide many of the same services a large city hospital does, and they do it well, with a personal, hometown touch. Intermountain Sami Valley Hospital, healing for life.
Bargain roofing job failing and your ceiling is damaged? Is your siding looking really shabby? Or you just want a new look? For as little as $150 per month, Clean Cut Roofing and Siding will update your home using 100% American-made products. That's right, all made right here in the great USA. And hey, take 48 to 120 months to pay. Fit it into your budget. Call Clean Cut Roofing and Siding for a free consultation, 435-427-3205. Or check them out on Facebook. Clean Cut Roofing and Siding. Peace of mind every time.
When you choose to bank at Zions, you get small-town customer service from the only local bank with a statewide network of branches. Enjoy convenient access to your cash from nearly 200 Zions ATMs throughout Utah and Idaho. At Zions Bank Sanpete County locations, you can take advantage of a full range of checking and savings products for your family and your business. Plus, we have top-rated online banking services. At Zions Bank, we haven't forgotten who keeps us in business. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Our halftime show presented by Southern Utah University. And let's take a look here. Bob Bauman brought up some stats for us. He's right down on the field. And Barnett is around 125 yards in individual rushing for the Judge Memorial team. And Barnett, a senior running back, Maxwell Barnett, 125-plus yards in the rushing department. And they do have the 75 yards in passing for Manti, about 50 yards, 50-55 in the rushing department, and they do have 24 yards in passing, 24-25 for the Manti Templars. Individually, Wright has rushed for 40 yards. We mentioned about Barnett, and they also have 31 yards rushing. Judge Memorial does from Kelson Papunu in the rushing department there for the Judge Memorial team. So takes a look at some of those stats here. Let's go to Russ Olson. Take a look at some third and fourth down notes here on our halftime stats presented by Southern Utah University.
Well, Manti has had 4 third down conversions, but they've also had 4 that they were not able to convert on third down. And they got 5 first downs in the first half. All 4 of those came on that last sustained drive that they had that went well, and then ended with turning it over on downs. No points for Manti on that one. On the flip side for Judge, they have 6 first downs, 3 third down conversions, but they also have been stopped on third down 3 times by Manti. Penalties playing a little bit of a factor here, not much, and Manti has 1 turnover. It was one of those where when Wright was standing in the end zone and he went to make the throw, is it going to turn into a safety? It turns into an interception, which the offense for the Bulldogs were able to convert that into a touchdown. So
Well, still here at halftime, 28-7. Judge Memorial leading the Manti Templars at halftime. Earlier today, they were runaway games in the 2A semifinals, and the North region there just dominating. Summit Academy will be into the championship for the first time as they defeated San Juan 24-0. South Summit plummeted South Sevier 49-0. So they've got a championship set up next Saturday at, well, that's maybe, let's see, Friday? Are we doing Friday or Saturday championship games? That
Friday
will be,
for 3A.
Yeah, it is 2A as well as Friday at 11 o'clock for that next Friday, and that will be at Southern Utah University. So that is what's set up on the 2A. So 1A matchups are being played tomorrow in the semis. We'll also have a JUAP matchup against Union in a 3A semifinal, and that will be tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock on our group of stations out of the Manti area. So 28-7 here at halftime. Judge Memorial leading the Manti Templars, and we'll take a 1-minute break, a 1-minute timeout, and then be back.
Are you ready for a fiesta? It's always fiesta time with Mexican food that you crave at Los Amigos. Try the Mexican steak or one of my favorites, their fajitas or chimichangas. They have smothered burritos and enchiladas, non-alcoholic drinks, and kids' meals. They use homemade flour tortillas, and every table gets chips and the secret salsa. And check out their Friday specials. It's fiesta time at Los Amigos, 3rd East and 700 South in Ephraim, right behind the movie theaters.
28-7, Judge Memorial leading Manti, and they have reset the clock. Our halftime show presented by Southern Utah University, and an education designed to give you a memorable experience and get involved in your education there. And they've got some excellent things in preparing you in your portfolio and in your resume once you get out of college to go into the job market at Southern Utah University. Well, just a few thoughts about halftime. We alluded to it a little bit. Russ, it's line of scrimmage, basically, is what's happening there. And the reason that Judge Memorial's dominating.
Yeah, Judge Memorial and their big guys up front, they're really getting the job done. And their linebackers are shooting the gaps really well. Actually pretty low for somebody who starts in a stance that's standing up. They've been able to get some stops on Manti in the backfield. Also, with their running game, Judge Memorial's running game, they've been able to run that option, and the sweep has worked well on the outside for them, but especially their dive plays. So
that's been the effective part for them here. 28-7, Judge Memorial the lead over Manti. Our halftime show has been presented by Southern Utah University. We'll have our post-game show coming up when we'll also take a look at stats and some things in summary for you in this ball game here today. We'll be back here in 1 minute with second half action.
The Fairview Telephone Company was founded in 1903 to bring telephone service to small communities in central Utah when no one else would. That small phone company is now Centricom, and our vision hasn't changed. We want rural central Utah to have the very best options for high-speed internet, cable TV, and home phone. Why? Because we live here too. Centricom, your local telecommunications company.
Providing full title service in the area for over 60 years now. D-Land Title of Manti and Richfield has been serving the area since 1946. Merrill Ogden and his qualified staff can handle all document preparation, title searches, and title insurance. When your financial transactions require title work, request D-Land Title of Manti or Richfield. With over 60 years of service, call or visit D-Land Title for a no-obligation consultation on your title work. That's D-Land Title of Manti and Richfield.
28-7, our score here at halftime. Judge Memorial leading the Manti Templars. And Judge Memorial started the first half with the possession after Manti had deferred to the second half of play. Templars, if you've just joined us, will be in the white and the Bulldogs in the red with the gold trim. If you're watching us on our streaming, this coverage being provided on KMTI Manti and on Centricom Channel 10. If you're picking up streaming in one of the locations or the other, appreciate you joining us as well. Larry Masco and Russell Olson with you in our coverage from Stewart Stadium at Weber State College campus in Ogden, Utah. And this artificial turf, we so enjoy this. You don't know some of the situations we get in during the season. We broadcast a lot of games and a lot of fields that aren't very well marked, and a lot of schools have made improvement. Used to be they didn't even have the 10 yards 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 marked on many fields. They've done that more regularly now. But boy, here it's just as vivid as can be.
Yeah, it'll fade as it's painted on grass as the season, and the budgets don't always allow those to be updated as Manti comes out on the field.
A little bit of a breeze, but it's very slight. I don't think this is very strong at all compared to what there was in the first half, and that one was not of any consequence.
Now
we've got a lot more of a wind here in the press box than they've got out on the field. And it's warmer out there, too. That's how frigid it is in here.
Under the lights now.
And ready to go from right to left, south to north for Judge Memorial to kick it off. Left-footed boot. He keeps it high, and it is returnable. 7-yard line, 10, 15, 20. Little seam, and then got spun around and gets it out to about the 23-yard line. That's where the Manti Templars will take over. Templars have a lot of juniors on this team, except up in that front line. And that offensive front line, they don't have much youth there. A lot of seniors and just one junior. So that's the thing the Templars will have to rebuild on next year. But a lot of the skill position players will be back next year for the Manti Templars. So Manti will start it 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line. Wide side of the field will be to their right. That's the west and near us. And Wright's going to throw it to the outside. Has it complete. Turn the corner at the 30 and driven out of bounds at about the 35-yard line on that completion. Got it into the hands of Harris coming out of the backfield, who's the fullback coming out there to make that catch. And Wright makes a nice delivery for the first down on an 11-yard pass.
Barnett on the tackle as Manti gets that first down. Manti comes out throwing and attacking down the field.
Wide side will be to the left. They'll bring motion to overload that side. Hand it off. Try to cut it back up the middle. And Max Stevens is able to get a pickup there of about 4 yards. Mack is a sophomore running back and is able to get the 4 yards there. He's been a little bit hindered in one of his shoulders, but made a nice little gain there on 4 yards on first down.
He came in motion from the west side of the field as kind of from a receiver slot position and took the handoff at the snap and then cut it upfield for that gain.
2 running backs, tight end set left. Handoff goes left-hand side. Harris breaks a couple of tackles and is able to get the first down. So they ran a little wider this time, the Manti Templars did, as they get to the outside, and the pickup of almost 9 yards for Harris on that carry in the first down.
Really just rolling down the field there as he made contact with 1, 2, 3, as I'm seeing it on the replay before he's dragged down by the Bulldogs.
Christian Ellis, a sophomore for Judge Memorial, in on the tackle. 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line. Handoff right-hand side, trying to get some corner turned and won't get much. Sego closing down quickly is Nick Klein, a junior for Judge Memorial, to make the tackle after a pickup of about 1 yard.
Sego there coming to the sweep to the outside, but it was read pretty quickly by Klein and meeting him pretty much at the line of scrimmage.
2nd down and 9 after the 1 yard gain for Judge Memorial at that point. They'll defensively set it up with a 4-man front for the split left for the Templars. Double wide outs there. They'll look to the outside, have it complete, turning the corner lot, trying to get to the first down marker, slipped and fell just short of it, but the nice out pattern. The Templars going with kind of a quicker call at the line here and trying to attack the outside.
Now that pass play that they threw there, that's one that they have done successfully in the last 3 weeks actually, where the receiver turns where only he is the one that could get that ball or it's going to be incomplete, then turns it upfield. That one was 5 yards farther downfield though when he caught the pass than typical.
3rd and short, handed off and around the left-hand side, got the first down. That's Stevens. Got a couple of yards for the first down. That linebacking core, we talked about Barnett offensively. He's a part of that defense too. Him and Braden Pelly, part of that linebacking core for Judge Memorial.
Christian Ellis on the tackle on the sideline for as Manti gets that first down on that 3rd down conversion.
That middle backer for Judge is Kealani Palau, a junior. A lot of youth on this Judge Memorial team. Boy, they're going to be strong again. Here comes the linebacker blitz. Templars try to counter it, and Harris loses his helmet. He picked up a couple of yards, but his helmet knocked off as he got met at the line of scrimmage.
I'm surprised that they didn't blow the play dead. I believe the rule in high school is as soon as the helmet comes off, the ball carrier being the one losing his helmet, he still should not try and continue
advance
the
the
play.
ball, and they did not mark it on the advance. They bring it back to where that helmet flew off. So that spots the ball at the 43-yard line, and he actually lost about a half a yard. So at the Judge Memorial 43, second down for the Manti Templars. Quarterback right is under center. Handed off, try to sweep to the right-hand side. Disrupted Siegel, cuts back inside, and will lose about a yard. But a linebacker blitz coming through again. Boy, these linebackers from Judge Memorial. And that's Maxwell Barnett, who does so much in the running game, and comes through there, and it's a loss of 2.
Yeah, as he glances off, I believe the tackle was trying to get the block on him. Actually, it was the guard for Manti, and Barnett was just going straight forward and straight to the ball.
Linebacking core for Judge Memorial, they're very quick to attack. Now, what does it leave open? Well, if you've got time, it leaves open drag patterns across the middle. If you can get to something to drop the safety comes up, and now we've got a flag flying, and I think the Templars going to get 5 yards marked off against them here. So they had a drive going a little bit, and then it is bogged down here on the last couple of plays. And the 5-yard mark off will put the ball at the Manti 49-yard line. Third quarter action. Judge Memorial leading at 28-7 with 7:30 remaining in this third quarter. From the Manti 49, they've got 3rd and long. Now they would have to get to the 32 of Judge Memorial. Wide side of the field is to the left. They'll bring motion there with Lott, the junior. And Derek Wright, the junior quarterback, in the pocket. Going to step up and juke to the outside, back to the inside, turns the corner, goes out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. We're going to have a late hit call.
And Wright is still down.
Wright went into the bench. Took a hard hit, but he's had plenty of them this season, and usually gives him a, and I don't blame him. I think I would take a 3 or 4 seconds to collect my thoughts in the bench. We'll look at this on replay here as he scrambled to the outside and then was taken out of bounds. Did a juke fake on Barnett, and then Barnett couldn't stay with him. And yeah, I can see why they made the call. I can see why the referee did that.
And it wasn't a malicious hit out of bounds either. As watching the replay, you could see at the last second after contact, the Bulldog realized that, oh, I'm not supposed to do this, and he pulled back, but it was too late, and it did knock Wright down in well into the bench of the Judge Memorial Bulldogs.
Now, some teams that Manti have played, when a player goes into the opposing bench, they get kicked. In this one, he got helped up. So good sportsmanship out there by Judge Memorial, because he went right into the bench, and there was a player from Judge Memorial reaching down. In fact, that player kind of stayed in place, and I think helped where Derek Wright didn't hit a lot harder into that bench there. He kind of kept his feet to protect Derek as he went out. So 1st and 10 Manti, 23-yard line. There you go, quick, and the play is blown dead. And a timeout taken by the Manti Templars. So they burn a timeout here at the 7-minute mark in the third quarter, and we'll be back in 1 minute.
You've heard for years that Gunnison Market is your hometown grocer. Now Gunnison Market offers you a hometown pharmacist. Come experience friendly hometown service from Sean Sorensen at Gunnison Market Pharmacy. Sean grew up in Gunnison and offers competitive prices, expert advice, and convenient hours, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday and 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturdays. Explore the loyalty card benefits, which gives you a free gift card for every 10 prescriptions filled. Call 528-7555 or visit Gunnison Market Pharmacy.
As temperatures become cooler outside, insects will be looking for someplace warmer to live, like inside your home. Spiders, ants, earwigs, and other bugs will take refuge in your kitchen, bathroom, bedrooms, and even closets. To protect your home, call Ecolife for a professional pest control barrier. Ecolife applies a smell-free, safe for the environment product to ensure you and your family are bug-free. All services are guaranteed. Call Ecolife 283-6002.
Well, the Templars attempt to pass out in the left flat, try to come with that quick play again. That did not work on that one. On a 1st and 10, trying to get it into the hands of Stuart Lott. So it's a 2nd down and 10 after that. Incompletion by the Templars at the Judge 23. Judge leading it over Manti 28-7 here in the third quarter. Max Stevens, sophomore running back, will be back in for the Templars. And they'll have the two running backs with Segal and Harris. Motion left to right. Right mishandles the snap from center. Judge was coming up to the line with those linebackers to step in the gaps. And that missed exchange there from center to quarterback. So a loss of a yard there. It'll bring up third down and almost 12.
Now that's an interesting scenario there because it looks like the quick contact by Judge on the center for Manti caused the disruption of the snap from center to quarterback. If it's a long snap like to a punt, it's actually illegal to hit the center like that. But where he has his head up and ready for it, they can do that.
So the third down call for Manti. Bring motion to the right-hand side, and Wright is in the shotgun looking for the shovel pass over the middle. They have it complete to the 19-yard line. So it'll bring up a fourth down for Manti, but they do advance to the 19-yard line.
Wes Wright on the reception on that.
That went from the 24 to the 19. So a pickup of about 5 on that pass. And it's a fourth down and 6 now for Manti at the Judge 19-yard line. Now the Templars have already used one timeout with 6 minutes remaining here in the third period.
Wright lined up as a tight end on that play, and it was a screen pass.
On the shotgun, Derek Wright brings motion from right to left. Looks to the pass to the outside. Trying to turn. Oh, and slipping and falling. Lott had a chance to get the first down, Stuart Lott, but even artificial turf, when it gets colder, it's slicker. Lott tried to plant and cut up the field to get the first down. His feet went out from under him, and he comes up a yard short.
That's the second time we've seen that play with Lott, and it's working well. And both times, as you said, his feet are slipping. I don't know, this time of year, sometimes those coaches do like to have their players switch to a longer spike on their cleat.
Yeah. So first down at the 15-yard line for Judge Memorial after the Templars turned it over on downs. And Judge Memorial leading 28-7. Handoff. Nope, keep by Auer. Auer breaks into the secondary to the outside. He's got the first down as he wiggles and waggles his way up to the 35-yard line, and a 15-yard gain on the first play of this half from the line of scrimmage for Judge Memorial. Got the first down on the carry. And it'll be from the right hash mark. Judge Memorial now on a 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. So they got out of that hole real quick with Auer keeping it on the quarterback keeper. Single running back, and they'll bring motion, bring a tailback through, and off to the fullback. The pickup of maybe a couple of yards. And shut down there by the Templars up on that defensive front. And the linebacking core, Doug Sheese, and on that contact and that tackle after a pickup of about 2.
As Judge Memorial's keeping it pretty much on the ground here, as we'd expect with this much of a lead.
Second down and 8. Templars a big gap right in the middle. Auer to the outside, tries to spin back inside. Picks up about 2.5 yards to get it to the 35 on the option. He kept it all the way. He really never did even look to the pitch back on that. So a gain of 2 there will bring up a third down and 6 for Judge Memorial.
Alder on the outside linebacker with helping Wes Wright out on that tackle.
Timothy Hiller splits out wide to the right, and then he tightens it back up as a tight end. He's the one that snaps for the deep snaps for Judge Memorial. Handoff right-hand side on a 3rd and 5. That's maybe a 2-yard gain. So it'll bring up 4th down for Judge Memorial. So they run 2, 2, and 2 and end up a 3rd down and 4 out at the 36-yard line for Judge Memorial.
Burnett just kept his legs churning to even get the yard or 2 that came out of that after first contact with the defense.
Punt formation now for the Judge Memorial Bulldogs. Under about the 22-yard line.
Manti always does like to rush hard on kicks.
And that's a so-so rush there, and it's a high one. Got some good distance to it. It's going to go out to about the 25-yard line, and that's where Manti will take over with a 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. And got a little extracurricular, and coach chewing on a Georgia Memorial player as he comes off the field. He says, we don't need that kind of stuff. A little bit of John going on. So it'll be from the 25-yard line that Manti will take over after the punt and have a 1st and 10 there at the 3:33 mark in the third quarter of play.
Good job on that punt for Judge Memorial. You actually could see that there was a poison call by the return man by Manti to get his blockers out of the area where that ball was coming down.
Manti's wide side to the left. Linebacker stepping in the gap. They'll try to bubble it around the outside. And how about that backside pursuit defensively? Tofa Fainga, another junior in that Judge Memorial lineup. You don't often have that happen when Thomas Lott gets caught from the backside on a sweep.
Yeah, that was the defensive end on the backside that got in there. And, well, actually, it was on the far side is where he lined up. He got through either the tackle for Manti or the tight end, making that tackle in the backfield for a loss against Manti.
A loss of 3, and the ball now at the 22-yard line for Manti. 2nd down and 13. It's from the left hash mark this time, so the wide side is to the right. Shotgun set, and right rolls to the right-hand side, being chased in the backfield. Throws it, intercepted at the 28-yard line, and getting it for the touchdown on the return. Breaking a couple of tackles on the interception and return is Braden Pelly for Judge Memorial. He picked that off at the 28-yard line and returns it for the touchdown.
That's one of those plays where you question whether you throw it. He's getting pursued as he's rolling out of the pocket, and you know, in this kind of position though, you need to make something happen. You start trying to force it, and you end up with interceptions. And excellent job though by Judge Memorial as Braden Pelly as he broke those tackles.
34-7 after the point after is good, and we'll be back with the kickoff in 1 minute.
Do you need a banking partner for your farm or business? Hi, I'm Darren Dyring, branch manager at Cache Valley Bank in Ephraim, and we have money to lend to your farm or business. If you need to upgrade equipment or purchase a new building or just expand, we can help. Also, don't forget we offer free business and personal checking accounts. So stop by and get acquainted. We want to help you succeed. Cache Valley Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
As you've all heard, Google has come to Provo with their fiber project, and you're probably wishing you had that kind of service. Well, you do. Manti Telco has had an all-fiber network and fiber to the home for the last 8 years. How awesome is that? Manti Telco has speeds up to 1 gig on an all-fiber network. Find out your speed and get the best from Manti Telco Fiber. Call 835-2929. Some restrictions apply, not available in all areas.
At 2:37 remaining in the third period, Judge Memorial now a 35-7 lead over Manti as the Judge Memorial defense scores on a 28-yard interception return by Pelly to put the points on the board. Point after is good, and here's the kickoff by Judge Memorial. Again, a high kick, fielded off the shoulder pads, retrieved at the 15, bouncing into a couple of players, bouncing out of that, still going down the sideline, and that was some acrobatic stuff across the way. On the return is Caden Stevenson, a junior for the Templars, who, with Bradley Segal being dinged up, Stevenson getting some return duty. And a part of that big bunch of juniors that the Manti Templars will have back next year as far as quarterback and running back and wide receivers. They have a bunch of them. They just got to find some offensive line for next year.
Yeah, on that return, he actually ran into his own man to start with that was making a block, and so excellent job to get that many yards.
Keep his feet underneath him from the 24-yard line, right in the pocket, heavy pressure coming through. Throws it out into the flat, and Lott can't find the handle and drops the pass as he's trying to go outside, and that will be incomplete. That was about a 10-yard pattern.
The defense was a little bit tighter on the pass coverage, which kept Lott from being able to rein that in. There's a little bit of contact after the play too.
I think he was
out of bounds.
Yeah, but he was out of bounds. He was off balance. If you watch the defensive back, and he kind of helped Lott and patted him on the back as he came up and said, "Sorry about that." But They were kind of tangled up and off balance, so it was
as we
no consequence.
As we mentioned, the slippery field as the temperatures drop.
Second down for the Templars. Handoff, tailback, right-hand side. Tries to come back to the inside. Pickup of about 3 or 4. The Templars seem to be kind of tentative. And, you know, they were on this field last year in the snowfall. And like you say, you sometimes need longer cleats and just some things to adjust to late in the season turf. Pickup of 4 on that carry brings up third down.
Yeah, the turf, it's been kind of amazing to see the developments that have come about in the last several years on the turf, because before they wouldn't let you wear cleats, and the change in the way that it's made and stuff, you wear the same shoes as you would on grass.
A third down and 5.5 for Manti. Wright's going to flush out to the right-hand side. Quarterback keeper dumps it off, has it complete, and good enough for the first down. Get that into the hands of Wesley Wright, younger brother to older brother on the first down completion. They'll say it was out to the 37-yard line, so about a 8-9 yard pass completion for the Manti Templars.
That's their 10th first down for the night, but they've had 2 good long drives that haven't converted into scoring, and I wonder how much growing up the Wright brothers there have that chemistry, as that pass was right on and right to the sideline where only Wes could have gotten it.
Derek hands it off left-hand side, trying to cut the corner is Harris. Gets maybe 2 yards. I'll bet when he was younger, it was Wes saying, "I'll throw you the ball."
Yeah.
Now it's reversed. A pickup of almost 2 by Caleb Harris on a first down call. But again, in most games that the Templars have played this season, Harris there would have gone for 8-10 yards. And how quickly does Judge Memorial close, and how well do they tackle?
Yeah, that lead blocker coming through was not able to just clear a large hole as typical for Manti.
So it brings up second down. Manti at the 38-yard line from the shotgun, right in the pocket, has some time. He's going to scoot out to the right-hand side, looking for a block. Turns the corner, out runs to the 50. Has the first down. Late flag coming in, and I bet you Judge Memorial is going to really scold this linebacker, and he's unhappy with himself. Patrick Maka, a senior, because that was right in the Judge bench, and I'm sure the coaches are not happy. And nope, he's out of the game right now, and he knows he made a miscue there. You know, the thing is, I think they're just working so hard that they really don't see where that sideline is, and when players are backed off a full 5 or 6 yards there, they just don't have the presence of exactly where they're at on the field.
Wright grabbed his left elbow. As we've mentioned in other games, that's been a little bit touchy and sore throughout this season. But again, also, we've talked about tonight, as Wright scrambles, people are taking the wrong angle on him. It looks like they're going to get him cornered, and he seems to be able to juke it and turn it into another 5-10 yards.
I have to get that rush total from Wendy. I missed that one because they marked off the penalty soon afterwards. Juke inside, then to the outside, and Max Stevens goes down. You got to just plant and cut there. You're not going to outrun this Judge Memorial team to the sideline. I think Mac probably just learned that lesson right there.
Yeah, Christian Ellis met him there at about the line of scrimmage. Mac should have cut his losses and headed upfield. As they call an equipment timeout. I think we're tying a shoe down there for Manti.
So what was that rush yardage on Derek's first down? 13 yards for the first down. Okay. At the 33-yard line, second down and 10 for Manti at that point. After that last play, 27 seconds remaining in the third period. Judge Memorial leading 35-7. In this matchup, wide side of the field to be to the right. Derek Wright taking a lot of time at the huddle. In the pocket, going to plant, look long, and way overthrown to Stuart Lott. They might have had a little audible thing thinking there. Lott might have thought he was going to be able to break an inside pattern deep. But again, Judge Memorial, they play horizontally and vertically, very quick to get to places on the field.
Yeah, they move with Manti as they try and rush to the sideline with a sweep or deep with the pass. Their defensive pass coverage is excellent.
Clock at 11 seconds remaining on the incomplete pass here in the third period. Coming up, our post-game show will be presented by Sunrise Engineering, making the things you do every day better every day. Judge Memorial, just their quickness, their speed They aren't bigger necessarily than most teams. Here's Derek Wright flushing to the left-hand side. He could have really run if he'd have wanted to, and still can if he'll just take off and go. Finally decides to tuck it, go to the inside, the outside, and go head up. If he'd have gone out there that first time, he probably could have gone for a first down. As it is now, he kind of froze his teammates. They're trying to figure out where he was going to go and whether they should block or not, and he does gain about 4 yards.
Yeah, as Manti's probably going to go for it. It's end of the quarter.
That is the end of the third period. Judge Memorial leading Manti 35-7. Back in a minute.
Don't take the risk of inadequate car service. For the very best in maintenance and repairs, take your vehicle to Big G Automotive in Manti. For everything from general service and care, heating and cooling service, and even transmission problems, the best place is Big G Automotive. They also have fast, reliable towing service for when you're in a jam. And don't forget that Big G Automotive is your local dealer for coast-to-coast carports. Visit Big G Automotive at 204 North Main in Manti.
An old friend was telling me he's tired of jumping on a piece of equipment just to have something come off in his hand. That won't happen when you have Barclay Mechanical on your repair team. Equipment repair or fabrication, yep, Barclay Mechanical can do. Metal or mechanical repair or fabrication, yep, you guessed it, can do at Barclay Mechanical in Manti. Call Barclay Mechanical 835-5084 or stop by 595 West 100 North in Manti. 835-5084. Oh yeah, go get 'em, Manti Templars.
Starting the fourth quarter of play now with the Manti Templars looking at a 4th down and 7 at the 30-yard line. Snap is back. The receiver's open. They'll try to dump it over the screen pass to the right-hand side to Sego. It goes incomplete. Boy, Good was open early. If they could have developed that earlier, they had a certain play call on. If Wright could have done it quickly audible and instead of checking down, checked up on a receiver, he would have had Good wide open on a completion.
That was a screen pass where Manti has had some good success tonight. That is the 3rd time Manti's turned it over on downs. Of course, when you get to this area of the field, it is 4th down territory. So
Judge Memorial hasn't done much offensively. It's the defense that scored for them in that third period. They'd only run 4 offensive plays, 5 if you count the punt. They'll have it 1st and 10 here at their own 30-yard line. Judge Memorial leading it at 35-7 over the Manti Templars. Hand to the fullback, keep it, pull it out. Auer going to try to reverse, still on his feet, and then he gets drilled by Caleb Harris. So Auer, him and Wright, they would give you jitterbugs. When those two, they can really dance around in the backfield. 2 quarterbacks here with a lot of agility.
Yeah, and we had Jordan Howe coming up and laying a good hit on Auer there. Boy, with Auer, he was just juking and jiving, just like you mentioned Manti's quarterback's doing.
Yeah, it was Howe that made the early hit, and then Harris put the clincher on. Loss of a yard, 2nd down and 11 at the 29. They'll bring motion from left to right. Handed on a reverse counter, and a nice read. Pickup of about 5 yards, and then here comes a flag. I think we're going to have an illegal block as they tried to counter it. That's what can happen sometimes. That offensive line, the big boy down there is Mason Knight, a junior for Judge Memorial. They got a lot of juniors next year. If this alignment stays the same and Judge stays in 3A, they'll probably be even more dominating next year than this year in that 3A circles. And so the penalty mark-off, isn't it going to start where the flag was? Yeah, and they'll go from there 10 yards.
And it was in the backfield.
Well, the ball will spot down at the 17-yard line after the penalty. So nullify that, bring it back on a 2nd down call from the 17-yard line. They've got to get to the 40 for a 1st down. See if they go to the pass attack here. Auer talking to his fullback, Barnett, who's already done a lot of damage today. They'll counter it, try to counter it to the inside right side, and got back a lot of the lost yardage out to about the 28-yard line on the carry, with the tackle being made by safety. Right now, the Templars using Brant Stevens at safety, with Sego having the injury. He's mostly just going on offense. No special teams for him. And Stevens at the safety, another one of the juniors that'll be back next year. 3rd down and 12 at the 28-yard line after the 11-yard gain. Pitch sweep to the outside and turning it up the field and then knocked out of bounds across the way, shy of the 1st down marker. some good. Really what kind of clogged that up early on was Trevor Alder. Now, he didn't get in on make the tackle, but he made the running back have to change his course of direction and go to the outside, and then was taken out at the 37-yard line.
Tristan Daniels, of course, being the one to finish on that, but all three players from Manti over there, Brent Stevens and Trevor Alder and Daniels, squeezing that to the sideline and preventing the first down.
So a 4th down punting situation here for Judge Memorial at their own 37-yard line. They lead 35-7 here, 10 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter of play. Long count and even longer. And I think there's going to be a 5-yard mark off here against, oh, there's no flags. It's going to be, it is. Now he just calls the penalty without it. Delay of game. I thought there was the delay of game. So the penalty, he didn't throw the flag, he just marks it off, and it'll be 4th down and even longer now for Judge Memorial at this point.
They do a spread line where you're basically missing your guards.
And the punt. This is a fairly nice punt. Fielded, and the return the far side by Templars, and fumbles the football. I was afraid of that. And picked up by Judge Memorial. Did they get on it before it went out of bounds? And the referee saying out of bounds. Trying to return that for Manti. Was that Derek Wright?
It was Derek Wright, and he's quite frustrated with himself over losing the ball, because that could have been a turnover completely and given it to him on the 15, but he really lost about 7 yards from the first contact, his forward momentum.
You kind of hinting it should have been fair catch?
Yeah, it should have been fair catch on that. Yep. But when you're in this kind of position,
you're trying to make something happen.
Yeah, Manti has come back in 4th quarters before, and they're trying to make something happen. So anything goes here for Manti, but now with the ball, they got to establish a good drive.
So they'll start at the 15-yard line. That's where the ball went out of bounds across the way. Lost a lot in field position there. So in a sense, that down was productive for Judge Memorial. The punt not so effective as the down was. And timeout by Manti. We'll be back here in 1 minute.
For integrity, honesty, and technical expertise, think of Jones and DeMille Engineering. With offices in Richfield, Roosevelt, Price, and Manti, they're committed to servicing their clients with civil and structural engineering, construction management, surveys and GIS mapping, and material testing. They use state-of-the-art equipment to help you meet your budgets and deadlines. Visit jonesanddemille.com or find them on Facebook. Since 1982, Jones and DeMille Engineering, your infrastructure professionals.
Rick Bartholomew here at Risk Managers Insurance in downtown Ephraim. Paying your insurance in these hard economic times is not a pleasant experience. For most, it can be a sacrifice. We at Risk Managers know how you feel and are dedicated to making the burden lighter. We are here to help take care of any insurance problem or question you may have. We represent many top-of-the-line insurance companies. Come in and see us at 110 North Main, or call Mark or Rick at Risk Managers 283-4685.
So the Manti Templars 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line, and advance the ball on a pretty good little carry to the right-hand side. Pickup of about 7 on that play for Manti on 1st down.
Sago the carrier there.
Templars have now gotten about to the century mark in rushing. 2nd down call and 3 from the 22. Hand it, lead it, and go left-hand side, and maybe a yard will be about all for the veteran Bradley Sego. That'll bring up a 3rd down for Manti.
Yeah, again, Judge Memorial's front line doing a lot of good work for him there, but Sego, straightforward, has had a lot of breaking into the open during this season, and with Judge Memorial, we haven't seen that yet.
A 3rd down for Manti and almost 3. Wright's going to look for the quick pass to the outside as it complete to Lott, and Lott's get out of bounds to stop the clock. So Manti converts on a 1st down pass. And I'll tell you what, Derek Wright, and there comes a late flag flying in, way late, after teams were headed back to their own huddle at the 29-yard line. So the Templars did complete the pass for the 1st down out to the 30. 3-yard line. So that was from the 27, about a 10-yard completion for the first down. And it's penalty against Judge Memorial. 15-yard variety, I think, is going to be marked off here.
With 8:47 left in the game, that does give Manti something to work with. And I want to go back to that pass that Locke caught, though. That was an excellent job to the sideline. He did get out of bounds. It stops the clock.
Manti at the 48-yard line, their own 48 now. The first down came on the play, not on the penalty. Right in the pocket, down he goes. Here comes the outside linebacker. Blitz, not picked up by Manti. And so he goes down at the 40.5-yard line.
Number 56, Patrick Maka, is the one that came in there, causing that almost 9-yard loss for 8-yard loss for Manti.
So that sack, 7 to 8-yard loss, will put the ball at the 41-yard line. Back from the 48 to the 41, wide side of the field just to the left. Judge leading Manti 35-7 with 8:10 remaining in the ball game, and the long count by Templars, and they'll get 5 yards the easy way. On the middle linebacker got too aggressive that time. So from the 41 out to the 46 now for Manti. Well, the realignment time coming up, and some interesting things could happen there in realignments. I guess there's always a possibility Judge Memorial will be going on up to 3AA. And some other teams in 2A might be on the bubble on a few things. Backside blitz, and nobody picked it up at all. That backside blitz by Braden Pelly, cornerback on the blitz. And the Templars, nobody read it from the outside. And Derek writes, he is getting slow pretty. He's just really getting hammered. That was a backside hit put on. He was unprotected on that and sacked at the 39-yard line.
Yeah, when he's able to see it coming, he does a good job of stepping forward. But when it's backside like that, it's just complete surprise on his part. And yeah, the way that he's walking, you can tell that he's been the pinball in this game.
Well, and somebody just, here comes the outside backer blitz again. Going to screen pass tipped into the air, intercepted by the defensive lineman. And going to try to return it, gets out of bounds. Finally, that was picked off. That was tipped into the air by Noah Ellis, sophomore defensive lineman, and driven out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. So the Templars were trying to run the screen over the middle, and it was tipped into the air by Ellison, and he did a good job of honing in on that and making the interception as they were trying to get that in the hands, I think, of Wesley Wright, the tight end on the screen. So Ellis gives Judge Memorial a 1st and goal after the interception, which is the 3rd of the night here by the Manti Templars.
Wright still has a pretty good head on his shoulders as he has to go out there to try and make that tackle. He was swatting at the ball, realizing the only thing that's going to prevent a score here is to cause a fumble and get it back.
Auer sets it and keeps it himself, turns up the field and gets to the 5.5-yard line. So a pickup there of about 4. The ball did come loose, but I thought he was down. Let's see what the referees say here. They are conferring on it, and they're saying, no, it's Manti ball. They're saying that Auer coughed it up. We're watching it on the replay here. Okay. Well, he never touched the ground. He was on top of defensive players.
He was on top of Wright, who was also pulling up both his arms from reaching around. And excellent job by Wright to force the fumble and brings up a fresh drive for Manti and a fresh set of downs.
So a quick trade of turnovers. And Auer will get credit for about a 4-yard gain before he was tackled there. 3-yard gain, I think, on it. And at the 7:06 mark, we've got a timeout on the field taken by Judge Memorial, is who they're indicating. So we'll be back in a minute.
So, wondering where to go after the game? How about Snowcap Lanes in Ephraim? Not only is the bowling great, but the food at Snowcap, one word, incredible! From the amazing line of mouthwatering burgers and sandwiches to the fabulous prime rib on Friday and Saturday nights. Then check Tuesday and Wednesdays as open bowling days. And now's the time to sign up for bowling leagues. There's openings for men, women, and mixed doubles. Hey, it's a great way to meet people and make new friends. The place for fun and food. The Snowcap Lanes on South Main in Ephraim.
So at the 7:06 mark, 35-7, Judge Memorial the lead. Took the timeout. Get a few substitutions made, and Manti will have 1st and 10.
Fresh numbers on the line, but not the backer core.
6-yard line. Templars handoff, running back, and gets out to about the 12-yard line on the carry. From the 6 for the Templars, and Siegel getting the carry.
Now defensive end number 89 comes back in for the Bulldogs. Tofa Mayanga coming in.
2nd down and 4 for Manti. 6:35 remaining. Judge Memorial leading this one 35-7. Right in the pocket. He's going to be able to scramble. Come to the outside. Jukes to the inside. Back to the outside. Keeps forcing his way up. And makes it to the 22-yard line with a 1st and 10.
He fumbled it before he went down, though, and they're struggling to see who has the ball.
And they're going to give it to Judge Memorial, I believe. Wright's body language. Nope, they say Manti.
No, Ben Tiatia came up with the ball. But Wright actually made contact as we've got an injured player on the field.
Chasing him to the outside and doing a pretty good job of staying with him. And he put a stiff arm in there. And staying with him on the play was, I guess that was Jacob Bowersox that stayed with him on the play. And there's the timeout right here, the delay in play as they tend to that Judge Memorial injured player. We'll take a 1-minute break as well.
The medical care you receive shouldn't depend on where you live. People in rural towns should receive the same high-quality medicine as those in the big cities. You can rest assured the Sanpete Valley Hospital provides their patients with the same high-quality care and advanced technology you'd receive if you drove to the city. They provide many of the same services a large city hospital does, and they do it well, with a personal, hometown touch. Intermountain Sanpete Valley Hospital, healing for life.
Bargain roofing job failing and your ceiling is damaged? Is your siding looking really shabby? Or you just want a new look? For as little as $150 per month, Clean Cut Roofing and Siding will update your home using 100% American-made products. That's right, all made right here in the great USA. And hey, take 48 to 120 months to pay. Fit it into your budget. Call Clean Cut Roofing and Siding for a free consultation, 435-427-3205. Or check them out on Facebook. Clean Cut Roofing and Siding. Peace of mind every time.
The injured player for the Manti Templars is Jake Kirkham, a senior who was in on that player, and they'll help him off the field here. So for the Templars, and you know, these are the kind of guys that have stayed with the program, didn't get a lot of playing time, maybe the junior and the senior year, but they're building blocks to it all.
Jake Kirkham does come off on his own power. I don't know how much, can't even tell what part would have been sore on him at all.
Well, he comes off the field here with the clock at 6:20, 35-7. Judge Memorial leading Manti. Coming up tomorrow, 4 o'clock, we'll have JUAB coverage on Classy FM, KMGR. Earlier in the day, we will have coverage of the Kanab game in 1A. Also, Snow College action coming up tomorrow here on KMTI. So it's 1st down and 10 at the 22-yard line. Wright looks to throw to the outside. A little too high for his intended receiver. Braxton Good.
Pass intended for number 20.
Well, Derek Wright does not have a weak arm. I'll tell you what, the kid can throw the ball.
Are you ready for a
something you
fiesta?
work on
It's
in the offseason, because the only switch to quarterback this year will be on some of those passes not quite so high. And a lot of it's in the footwork when it just kind of takes off and keeps rising and the receiver can't get to him.
as I mentioned earlier, Judge Memorial has switched up things on their defensive line, but they still have the starters in the backfield.
From the shotgun, right in the pocket, steps around. A lot more time against this backup defensive line. He's going to plant, run out to the right-hand side, and throws the pass, has it to complete, and then a first down at the 35, the 40, coming back inside, Jordan Howe, and then here comes a flag again, and I don't know about that one, unless they grabbed a face mask or something.
It would have had to have been a face mask, otherwise, because he didn't take him to the ground.
No.
There wasn't a contact of hit, so.
That was a pass completion from the 22 to the 47. So Manti getting the first down on that nice completion out there to Jordan Howe. Part of that bunch of juniors that'll be back next year for the Manti Templars. Face mask call, so they'll tack on the penalty on top of that. 25-yard pass completion for the first down. And that'll put the ball at the Judge 38-yard line. Judge with a comfortable lead here at 35-7. 5:45 remaining. Motion will be Sego. Hand it to Sego, and he turns the corner, and he's got the first down. Maybe just shy of it. I think he might have stepped out of bounds. It looks like the one official is going to spot him just about a half-yard shy at the 29-yard line. Boy, what a world of difference here with this backup defensive line in there for Judge Memorial.
I'm squinting to try and see the numbers on sometimes these high school numbers, but it looks like Jack Boomer is the one that was able to cut that short for him, forcing Sego out of bounds.
So it's second and short, handed off on the dive, and Sego has the first down to the 23-yard line. From the 34 to the, or make that from the 29 to the 23-yard line. So his carry of 6 downs for the first 6 yards for the first down.
That's the 18th first down for Manti tonight. That is an excellent statistic if it was what put points on the board, but that is not what the story is tonight.
Well, and the defense basically has scored for Judge twice in this ball game. Not literally, but basically did it one way or the other. Cut back into the middle, Max Stevens on the speed sweep right, cuts back into the inside to get it to the 19-yard line, so a pickup of 4 on a first down call by Max Stevens.
More rotations happening for Judge Memorial, getting some more players some time on the field.
Made a couple of changes in that linebacking and defensive secondary core now. Second down and 6 for Manti. The ball at the 19-yard line, right hash, so the wide side of the field to the left, and everybody was moving except the center.
Yeah, I think the one that didn't know the count was the center, or maybe he's got a ringing in his ears. I don't know.
Yeah, there was quarterback was moving, receivers were moving, the rest of the offensive line moving. Probably went quick count call, and it'll be a 5-yard mark off against Manti to put the ball back to the 24-yard line. We'll have our post-game show coming up, presented by Sunrise Engineering, serving clients in Utah, Idaho, Wyoming, and Arizona for over 30 years on that Sunrise Engineering post-game show. Shotgun set, right, looks left. Got some pressure, scoots away from it. Oh, doesn't get away from that one. Gets away from the right-hand side. Still looking, got a receiver open. Makes the catch. Stevens, and here comes, they are really throwing the flags. I think they got a arm across the helmet on Stevens. Made the catch, and then Judge Memorial trying to clean it up. And so it's going to go down as about a 13-yard completion for the first down. What I like is what Stevens did is how he got up and protected the ball coming in.
I'm seeing a horse collar signal from the one ref to the other as they drug him down by his shoulder pads. The direction he pulled him, though, I don't know about that. It's pulling him backwards that's the danger and the reason for that kind of call. So as
half the distance, we'll put the ball at the Judge 5.5-yard line. We'll say 6 here for practical purposes, and that's where Manti will have it. First and goal at the 6-yard line at the 4:12 mark. Hand it to the speedback, trying to cut back into across the grain. Stuart Lott gets it for a pickup. Stuart Lott is very strong for his size, and he gets about 3 yards out of that when it looked like he was going to go down for line of scrimmage.
He's the other option Manti has used this year for quarterback. Very athletic, Stuart Lott, and actually does quite well for him as a receiver. He's their leading receiver, isn't he?
Yep. Well, Alder in yardage and Lott in receptions. So second and goal from the 3-yard line. Stevens, the speed back, handed off left-hand side, diving and working hard. And yeah, I think he broke the plane, getting the touchdown. Just second effort for the Manti Templars to push it in and get the touchdown. Getting helped up a little bit is Wright. I'm still trying to see who was the running back that put it in.
I believe it was Daniels. Tristan
Daniels, senior. They give him a chance to tote the ball there and get the touchdown.
And those last 3 yards were all him churning his legs and keeping the play alive.
Daniels, who been mostly a defensive player this season, and is able as his senior year here in his final game to put points on the board here from his running back spot. And he worked hard for it. Placement down, and the kick by Lemus is on the way, and no good. So the score standing at 35-13. We'll be back with the kickoff in 1 minute.
Are you ready for a fiesta? It's always fiesta time with Mexican food that you crave at Los Amigos. Try the Mexican steak or one of my favorites, their fajitas or chimichangas. They have smothered burritos and enchiladas, non-alcoholic drinks, and kids' meals. They use homemade flour tortillas, and every table gets chips and the secret salsa. And check out their Friday specials. It's fiesta time at Los Amigos, 3rd East and 700 South in Ephraim, right behind the movie theaters.
When you choose to bank at Zions, you get small-town customer service from the only local bank with a statewide network of branches. Enjoy convenient access to your cash from nearly 200 Zions ATMs throughout Utah and Idaho. At Zions Bank Stampede County locations, you can take advantage of a full range of checking and savings products for your family and your business. Plus, we have top-rated online banking services. At Zions Bank, we haven't forgotten who keeps us in business. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Manti Templars to kick off. She approaches, and he's going to kick it away. And this will go bouncing around and goes into the end zone. Boy, if that would have died at the 1, because Judge Memorial was fully expecting an onside kick. And she's placed it down inside the 5. So Judge Memorial will take over at the 20, though, as it bounced at the 5 and then finally went into the end zone.
Yeah, it came to a stop about 2 yards into the end zone. Did roll out of bounds. And excellent kick by Sheese. It's inconsequential at this point. We'll start at the 20 with 3 minutes and 29 seconds left.
Cy Austin, the sophomore quarterback, will come in for Judge Memorial. They've gone quite a ways down the depth chart here. I think they're even getting maybe some 3rd unit players in some of that defensive scheme. So 1st and 10 at the 20 for Judge Memorial with 3:29 remaining. And right it to the fullback, and that's not going anywhere. It's really that first unit of Judge Memorial. They're just very strong and tough, and you can really see a difference between that and this bunch they've got out there now.
Yeah, Caden Gentry able to just collapse right down on that play, driving the guard in, and it goes for a 1-yard loss.
Judge has got to get another offensive lineman in there. Joey Walsh needed to get into the ball game, and finally does on 2nd down.
Their tackle came off hobbling with an ankle.
2nd and 11. Whoa, man, that was a kisser put on. The Templars are just teeing off now. That defense, they're probably letting their frustrations out. Caden Gentry, a senior lineman for the Templars, and he put the wallop on that Judge running back just as he got the handoff. So a loss of 3 on that one.
And the next one will be Pritchard if they come to the other side.
Yeah. Kelton Pritchard, all-state player for the Manti Templars. I think that's pretty well would be in the books for him this season. And as we've mentioned earlier, Manti will have to find some linemen for next year. They don't have a lot of youth there, but they've got skill position players coming back. 3rd down and 14.
Logan Sondrup in for Manti.
Another senior getting some time. The outside and play was blown dead, I guess, on the pitch sweep. So they'll place it down and mark off 5 yards against the Judge Memorial. So procedure call, and they'll put it at the 11-yard line now. Time at the 2:09 mark. Judge Memorial will move on to play in the championship. That will be coming up next Friday at Southern Utah University. 1A games at 1:30, 2A game at 11, and the 3A game will be at 4 o'clock on Friday. And to the fullback, quarterback pulls it out, keeps it to himself, and heads to the right-hand side. Cy Austin. Sometimes Judge Memorial takes some of their other players and move them to the quarterback. I don't know if Austin will be the QB next year as Aiden Hour graduates. But pickup of a couple of yards there, and the ball now out to the 16-yard line and 4th down.
Punt team comes on for Judge Memorial.
Sunrise Engineering post-game show is coming up. They live and work close to you. See their office locations at sunrise-eng.com. Join us for a lot more football coming up tomorrow. Centricom Channel 10 will be doing some streaming. We'll have coverage for the on the radio of the CANAB and UAB contests. And they ran out of time.
I think they call a timeout with 1 second on the play clock.
Yeah.
On these college fields, we got that advantage of having
clock down at the end. So Judge Memorial does get the timeout called. And let's just keep it right here and run down our list of sponsors for you right now. To mention Zions Bank and Manti, Centricom Channel 10, D-Land Title, Gunnison Market, Eco-Life, Cache Valley Bank, Manti Telephone, Big G's Automotive, Barclay Mechanical, Rick Bartholomew Insurance, Jones and DeMille Engineering, Sanpete Valley Hospital, Snowcap Lanes, Clean Cut Roofing, and Los Amigos. Snow College presenting our pregame show, Southern Utah University, our halftime show, and Sunrise Engineering, our postgame show. Well, a lot of these names you're hearing here for the Manti Templars, you're going to be hearing about them on the basketball court as well. As for exception of a couple of players, a lot of these Templars are basketball players and going to be very junior-oriented under a new coach, Devin Shakespeare, this season.
Where was he coaching last year?
It was at Paiute. So came up from Paiute. And will be coaching for the Manti Templars. Well, kicking situation here for the Judge Memorial Bulldogs now, with the punter standing back at about his 2-yard line. And Hiller, who's usually the snapper, will be snapping here, and he's a dandy. Gets it out of there, and it's blocked by the Templars, who fall on it at about the 1-yard line. Is that where they're going to mark it? Half-yard line. See where the official decides to place it down here. So the Templars, and again, this is just all because of what's happening at the line of scrimmage. That Judge Memorial first unit, boy, they are tough on the line. So the punt block, and the Manti Templars will have the ball at the 1-yard line with 1:12 remaining. The Judge won. 35-13, Judge with the lead over Manti. Ball will be on the left hash.
Quite a few seniors in for Manti.
Yeah, get some seniors in that haven't had as much playing time or as much on offense. Siegel remains in. They'll hand it to Caleb Harris, and the big hombre dives to the right-hand side for the touchdown. So that coming at the 1:09 mark on Caleb Harris's 1-yard dive for the touchdown. Post-game show presented by Sunrise Engineering is just ahead, making the things you do every day better every day. Lemus, young kicker, coming in for the Manti Templars. Or are they going to go for 2? They'll go for 2 on this one. So Manti with the ball at the 3.5-yard line, rolling to the right-hand side, and Wright's going to be able to keep it himself and get in for the touchdown.
He did an excellent job with the fake there.
Yeah, he did. Drew the defense in with the fake. Wright makes the 2-point conversion around the right-hand side. And so Manti with 1:10 remaining. We'll be back with the kickoff in 1 minute.
Legendary NBA coach Phil Jackson once said, "Yes, victory is sweet, but it doesn't necessarily make life any easier the next season or even the next day." We applaud our student athletes for their hard work and determination on the court and in the classroom. Make your kids' education a priority. Find out what you can do. Brought to you by Sunrise Engineering, promoting excellence in sports and promoting excellence in education. Visit us at sunrise-eng.com.
Providing full title service in the area for over 60 years now. D-Land Title of Manti and Richfield has been serving the area since 1946. Merrill Ogden and his qualified staff can handle all document preparation, title searches, and title insurance. When your financial transactions require title work, request D-Land Title of Manti or Richfield. With over 60 years of service, call or visit D-Land Title for a no-obligation consultation on your title work. That's D-Land Title of Manti and Richfield.
Onside kick covered up at about the 47-yard line, so the Templars do attempt onside on that one. We're speculating if they might try a little chip shot in between there at about the 30-yard line or so. Covered up, and that's a good drill for Judge Memorial's younger players too, to run that and have to be covering on an onside kick. So they'll have it 1st and 10 at their own 47-yard line.
Yep, they did the correct thing, and you just get the play to end, take it down, and turn your back as you cover up the ball.
Wide side of the field to be to the right for Judge Memorial with 1:07 remaining. Let's see if they just take a knee here. They are in the security formation, and it will be the quarterback taking a knee, and they'll just let the time run down here. So our post-game show coming up, presented by Sunrise Engineering, promoting athletic and academic excellence. Visiting them at sunriseengineering.com, sunrise-eng.com. I want to mention as well, again, academic All-State in 3A. Manti's Trevor Alder is an academic All-State player. From Gunnison Valley in the 2A, Murray Polson as well, an academic All-State player. And want to recognize those guys that play sports and top notch. You got to get a 3.9 or better usually to be able to get into that. So that should run it off here. 35-21 is going to be our final score. And the players here shaking hands with each other. So we'll take our postgame show coming up, presented by Sunrise Engineering. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
You've heard for years that Gunnison Market is your hometown grocer. Now Gunnison Market offers you a hometown pharmacist. Come experience friendly hometown service from Sean Sorensen at Gunnison Market Pharmacy. Sean grew up in Gunnison and offers competitive prices, expert advice, and convenient hours, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday and 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturdays. Explore the loyalty card benefits, which gives you a free gift card for every 10 prescriptions filled. Call 528-7555 or visit Gunnison Market Pharmacy.
As temperatures become cooler outside, insects will be looking for someplace warmer to live, like inside your home. Spiders, ants, earwigs, and other bugs will take refuge in your kitchen, bathroom, bedrooms, and even closets. To protect your home, call Ecolife for a professional pest control barrier. Ecolife applies a smell-free, safe for the environment product to ensure you and your family are bug-free. All services are guaranteed. Call Ecolife 283-6002.
Does your kid know it all? Legendary basketball coach John Wooden once said, "It's what you learn after you know it all that counts." We applaud our student athletes for their hard work and determination on the court and in the classroom. Help your kids see their potential. Partner up with their coaches and teachers. Find out what you can do. Just something to think about. Brought to you by Sunrise Engineering, promoting excellence in sports and education. Visit us at sunrise-eng.com.
Do you need a banking partner for your farm or business? Hi, I'm Darren Dyring, branch manager at Cache Valley Bank in Ephraim, and we have money to lend to your farm or business. If you need to upgrade equipment or purchase a new building or just expand, we can help. Also, don't forget we offer free business and personal checking accounts. So stop by and get acquainted. We want to help you succeed. Cache Valley Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Our final score here on our postgame show, presented by Sunrise Engineering. Judge Memorial 35, Manti 21. And let's take a look at our scoring summary in this second half of play of the ball game tonight here. And in that third quarter of play, Judge Memorial, that's a 2:37 mark, getting a 28-yard touchdown interception return, and that made it 34-7 on that point. And then the Manti Templars they scored the points on that touchdown drive that ended on a 3-yard run by Daniels at the 3:29 mark, 35-13. And then the 1-yard run after special teams miscue by Judge Memorial at 1:10 remaining, and the 2-point conversion by Wright made it at 35-21. Harris scoring that for the Manti Templars. Derek Wright scored the first touchdown for Manti, and that was in the first quarter of play with 29 seconds remaining on a 23-yard scamper. So those are the 3 scores tonight for the Manti Templars. For Judge Memorial, they had their first scoring coming at the 6-minute mark in the first period. Then Barrett, who had a big game tonight, rushed for over 150 yards. He got a score at the 4:27 mark to make it at 14-0 for Judge Memorial. In the second quarter, Barrett again with 8:55 remaining, and it was 21-7. And then Price on a 59-yard pass catch near the end of the second quarter of play, and it was 28-7, that halftime score. And then the final 35-21 tonight, Judge Memorial over the Manti Templars. So that's our scoring summary presented by Sunrise Engineering, promoting athletic and academic excellence and serving clients in Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming and Arizona for over 30 years. Another 2-minute timeout, and back with more of the Sunrise Engineering post-game show.
The Fairview Telephone Company was founded in 1903 to bring telephone service to small communities in central Utah when no one else would. That small phone company is now Centricom, and our vision hasn't changed. We want rural central Utah to have the very best options for high-speed internet, cable TV, and home phone. Why? Because we live here too. Centricom, your local telecommunications company.
Legendary NBA coach Phil Jackson once said, yes, victory is sweet, but it doesn't necessarily make life any easier the next season or even the next day. We applaud our student athletes for their hard work and determination on the court and in the classroom. Make your kids' education a priority. Find out what you can do. Brought to you by Sunrise Engineering, promoting excellence in sports and promoting excellence in education. Visit us at sunrise-eng.com.
Don't take the risk of inadequate car service. For the very best in maintenance and repairs, take your vehicle to Big G Automotive in Manti. For everything from general service and care, heating and cooling service, and even transmission problems, the best place is Big G Automotive. They also have fast, reliable towing service for when you're in a jam. And don't forget that Big G Automotive is your local dealer for coast-to-coast carports. Visit Big G Automotive at 204 North Main in Manti.
An old friend was telling me he's tired of jumping on a piece of equipment just to have something come off in his hand. That won't happen when you have Barclay Mechanical on your repair team. Equipment repair or fabrication, yep, Barclay Mechanical can do. Metal or mechanical repair or fabrication, yep, you guessed it, can do at Barclay Mechanical in Manti. Call Barclay Mechanical 835-5084 or stop by 595 West 100 North in Manti. 835-5084. Oh yeah, go get them, Manti Templars.
Here is what the schedule looks like for tomorrow. In some 1A ball games, 11 o'clock it'll be Rich and Monticello. And at 1:30, Diamond Ranch and Kanab. That is a radio broadcast that we'll bring your way. And then tomorrow afternoon will be the other 3A semifinal game, Juab and Union, playing at 4 o'clock. The winner of that to play Judge Memorial. Our Sunrise Engineering post-game show, making the things you do better every day, better every day because of Sunrise Engineering. 35-21 final on this one. Judge Memorial defeating the Manti Templars to advance to the state championship again for Judge Memorial, becoming kind of an automatic thing on that one. And let's take a look at some of the stats here on 3rd and 4th down conversions, which was kind of interesting. And Manti getting some points late make it look a little better, but Manti had at one point in the ballgame quite a few first downs, but not many points to show for it.
Yeah, by halftime, Manti had 5 first downs. They ended the game with 18. They had, if I kept track of them right, 6 third down conversions. They failed on 5 of those. They on the other side, flip side for that with Judge, they had 7 first downs for the entire game, and 3 third down conversions and failing on 4 of those. With penalties, they in the second half it really started to rack up some yardage for Judge Memorial. Really helped keep Manti moving down the field. I think some of those first downs I marked at least 3 or 4 of them were from penalties.
Some long yardage for Judge. That first quarter, they had a 39 and a 33 and a 35-yard rushes there, and that was a part of Barnett's rushing, and then 16 as well.
And he only had 4 in the second half.
Yeah,
only 4 yards.
Didn't have to carry the ball much. They didn't have that many plays in the third period, and then they went with their younger players in that fourth quarter. And in that third quarter, they had a 15-yard run, and then an 11-yarder in the fourth quarter. But he really didn't have to, and he's quite a defensive player as well, and made his presence known defensively as well as offensively here. Some turnovers for the Manti Templars. They had 3 interceptions in this ball game, and then there was the fumble by Judge that came at a point for them in that fourth quarter that allowed Manti to get good field position and punch the touchdown on the ticket there for that final score of 35-21. It's our Sunrise Engineering post-game show. We'll be back with a look at the final statistics when we come back in 2 minutes.
For integrity, honesty, and technical expertise, think of Jones and DeMille Engineering. With offices in Richfield, Roosevelt, Price, and Manti, they're committed to servicing their clients with civil and structural engineering, construction management, surveys and GIS mapping, and material testing. They use state-of-the-art equipment to help you meet your budgets and deadlines. Visit jonesanddemille.com or find them on Facebook. Since 1982, Jones and DeMille Engineering, your infrastructure professionals.
Does your kid know it all? Legendary basketball coach John Wooden once said, "It's what you learn after you know it all that counts." We applaud our student athletes for their hard work and determination on the court and in the classroom. Help your kids see their potential. Partner up with their coaches and teachers. Find out what you can do. Just something to think about. Brought to you by Sunrise Engineering, promoting excellence in sports and education. Visit us at sunrise-eng.com.
Rick Bartholomew here at Risk Managers Insurance in downtown Ephraim. Paying your insurance in these hard economic times is not a pleasant experience. For most, it can be a sacrifice. We at Risk Managers know how you feel and are dedicated to making the burden lighter. We are here to help take care of any insurance problem or question you may have. We represent many top-of-the-line insurance companies. Come in and see us at 110 North Main, or call Mark or Rick at Risk Managers 283-4685.
So, wondering where to go after the game? How about Snowcap Lanes in Ephraim? Not only is the bowling great, but the food at Snowcap, one word, incredible! From the amazing line of mouthwatering burgers and sandwiches to the fabulous prime rib on Friday and Saturday nights. Then check Tuesday and Wednesdays as open bowling days. And now's the time to sign up for bowling leagues. There's openings for men, women, and mixed doubles. Hey, it's a great way to meet people and make new friends. The place for fun and food. The Snowcap Lanes on South Main in Ephraim.
Our Sunrise Engineering post-game show, look at stats for the Manti Templars, just a couple of individual ones. In the rushing department, 12 rushes, 52 yards for Derek Wright. And Bradley Seago, 15 rushes, 38 yards today. Manti ended up with 132 yards, about 132 to 135 in the rushing department.
And in that rushing on Derek Wright, when we keep our stats, we don't take the sacks.
We don't take the sacks off.
So 85 yards is what it would
kind
be
of a net
if you
thing.
Don't. Yeah, if you
or a gross thing. Yeah.
Yeah, if you take out those sacks.
Yeah, and of course technically sacks do count, but yeah, it's a good point to have that stat there. That without those sacks, that's what he would have had there. Harris, who was kind of neutralized today, that was one that Weber State seemed to really be, or Weber State Judge Memorial seemed to be focusing on here at Weber State. And he was held to 13 yards. Manti Templars did get about 110 in the passing department in the ball game today. So their total offense at around 235, 240 yards. Judge Memorial is around 375 in total offense, nearly 200 in the rushing department, and about 75 in the passing department for Judge Memorial here in this ball game. And actually, till they had some losses late in that ball game, they were well over 200 yards, and then they had some plays for loss late in that ball game. So the final score on it again, 35-21. Judge Memorial advances into the state championship game next Friday at Southern Utah University. Appreciate all of our sponsors providing our coverage and Sunrise Engineering here on the post-game show. And our broadcast coming up tomorrow, we will have that Kanab game on one of our sister stations. So you can go to our website and find out more details on that. Kanab and Diamond Ranch game, 1:30 with a 1:10 pregame. We'll follow that immediately after with the 4 o'clock game, KMGR for that one. And that will be Juab and Union. And I do remember it is KMGR on that coverage as well on that matchup for Kanab and Diamond Ranch. So pick those games up tomorrow on whatever frequency is in your area on the KMGR FM. It'll be streamed as well. Centricom Channel 10, you can pick up that streaming. And here at the facilities of Weber State. So the scores today, 49-0, South Summit defeated South Sevier. Summit Academy 24-0 over San Juan. And somebody pointed out a real interesting stat that in those two games today, it was about 72-0. 2 shutouts in that one. This one, well, Manti got 21 points on the board, so we ended up at 35-21.
And that was South versus North in that 2A.
Yeah, the North, they're really flexing their muscles today, and South Summit could be a tough one to beat, but well, Summit Academy maybe the next time is the charm for them. That's a team been out in Draper. So that's what the lineup on that 1A is coming up tomorrow here as well. Appreciate all of our sponsors providing our Manti Templar coverage this season. Let's give them a last coverage note here. And Sunrise Engineering on the post game, SUU halftime, Snow College on the pregame, Los Amigos, Clean Cut Roofing, Snow Cap Lanes, Sanpete Valley Hospital, Jones and the Mill Engineering, Rick Bartholomew Insurance, Barclay Mechanical, Big G's Automotive, Manti Telephone, Cache Valley Bank, Ecolife, Gunnison Market, D-Land Title, Centricom, Channel 10, and Zions Bank, Manti, and Ephraim area. Wraps it up here. And appreciate Bob Ballman and also Wendy Olson on the stats. And Russ Olson alongside as well. Larry Masco bidding you a good evening.